Hello.
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 Ooh.
Oh my God, I'm completely black. Can everybody see me?
Yeah, we can see your nose.
I can see my nose. Let me see. Let me try to.
There it
There
Oh,
is.
there
you
we
go.
go. There we
There.
go.
Yeah.
There she is.
I
All
like
right.
that. Ever since you started pulling the hood back, I think I told you in the chat, I like
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
start doing that. Yeah.
There we go. There we
Yep.
go. For the time
There's
being.
that pretty face.
Hey,
There
how's
we
everybody
go.
doing?
I'm
I'm
alive.
doing good.
How about you?
Yeah, as I was saying in the beginning of the show, it's hot as blazes here.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
She's
weird.
only like, what, 4 hours away from us, and
I
we're
know. I don't
freezing and
understand it.
rainy. I know,
I
And
it
it's like
know.
stinks.
50, 54 and like a monsoon here.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
we're going to have to get out the chest waders pretty soon.
I know. I'm going to start building an ark.
Well, you got room for it, so I'll go meet up at Bill's house.
Yeah, just bring
2x2.
just bring two of whatever sex animal you have at your house.
Right, and food products. You got to bring food products.
Yeah, food
Oh,
product.
yes.
Hi, Kiwi. How's it going?
Hey, Michael, 76 in Tennessee.
Nice.
That's perfect temperature
Nice.
right there.
I know it is.
It
It
is.
is.
Yep.
It is so much. So, as everybody knows, Steve couldn't be with us because he had to go out of town unexpectedly. But we have Bill here with us.
Yes. How are you, everybody? Good to see you, Kiwi. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Rawside Paranormal, she's in chat. How you doing, Rawside Paranormal?
It's not here. Send any spare rain to Florida. You can have it. That's all it's doing here is raining.
Yeah.
Florida's weird too because Florida will rain for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it'll be super sunny, and then yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, Stevie's here. Hi, Stevie.
Hi,
I hope everything
Stevie.
is well with your family.
Yeah, Stevie, how you doing?
Yeah, Bill and I had plans to do filming, and we got the rain. This
Yeah.
was the second weekend. Rain.
Yeah. Stevie doesn't know me, but I did see her interview. Was it last weekend or the weekend before?
Yes.
Yes. Yep, it's good.
Stevie's amazing. I love her. I love her podcast. And she's actually, it may be possible that she may be doing the costumes for the upcoming film that I'm going to be in next year. So,
Yeah,
oh, wow, that's awesome.
That's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what she comes up with. We're still trying to get it. We're still at the point that we're getting the funding. And I brought in a couple of other connections to Denise and Victor. So hopefully they can all connect together and we could get this up and running. But also, there's a good possibility that we may also be feeling Pagan, which I absolutely love that storyline. So hopefully we could get that up and running as well. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
great.
So
good
as far
times.
as her doing the costume, like sewing and like stuff like that, like actually.
Yeah, she's a seamstress. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, she's a seamstress.
Yeah, my mother was a seamstress too, so that's cool.
Yeah, I believe she'll do amazing work for the costume. So as soon as we get the funding and we're at a point that we could start hiring people, then they'll reach out to her. But yeah. See, she's looking forward to that. Yeah, I know you're going to do amazing work, so I'm looking forward to it as well. Yeah. So what's up with both of you? Anything?
How about you, Laura? Anything?
No. No, not really. Nothing really going on. Just waiting for the rain to stop so I can get out and do some stuff. Otherwise, just working on the magazine. It's starting all over again.
Oh my God! It's like a non-continuous thing.
Oh, it is. It takes 30 days to put it together, and that's cramming. So it's every day. That's what I'm doing, researching and reaching out to everybody. Send in your stories, please. Help me fill those places.
So it's for June? Is it June?
I'm working on June's now, yeah.
Okay, so we just have to figure out what's in June.
I just put out May's issue on the 1st. So guys, check it out. It's There's a lot in May. Wow.
Yeah, I tell you. So Kiwi, so I'm actually yeah. So I'm actually working with not Steve, Victor and Denise, which Victor is the producer, my good friend Victor Santiago, and Denise Pounds, which is an amazing writer. So they created a family suspense film called Vampires Vendetta. Um, so right now we're in the funding process, and as if we get the funding to do the teaser and everything, then we go to the next step. A lot of people don't realize how much work it is to actually get an actual film created. So we're at that point right now, and then once they get the funding and everything that they need, once they get the teaser to start advertising, then we go to the next step to actually, I believe, start hiring people
Right.
as
So
actors and so
you let
on.
everybody know that it's a family based
Yes, it is.
movie.
Yes,
So
it's
a
kind
movie
of
you can
like
bring your kids to.
it's like a Goonies type of
Oh, awesome.
Goosebumps type of movie. And then the other one, and I do have a small role in that as well. But the other one, Pagan, is I actually was involved with previously. I have a role in that as well. But that's a supernatural type of film. And it's also amazing. So hopefully once they're done with Vampires Vendetta, they can move on to Pagan again. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Susan's gonna be famous.
I know.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I worked on a short film a few years ago. I did the sound design for a friend of mine that she did a short film. It was at some film festivals, and that was pretty fun. I did some sound Foley work on it, and wrote a couple some actually elevator music for it, and yeah, did all the overdub music or all the overdub sound for it. Took the audio and synced it merged it with the video too. So I have I have an IMDb credit for it. So
nice,
Cool.
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of work too, and she was very particular. So when she'd come over to the house to like view it, there were some things that she would say, "Can you do this with it?" And I would say, "Well, the audio technician that recorded it with like the pull and the gaff or whatever, they didn't really do a good job of picking up audio. Their settings that they had on their board was actually her sister, and the person that was supposed to do the audio recording didn't show up that day. So, but she had the equipment all rented, and they were like, "Well, okay, sis, can you run this equipment?" And she's like, "I don't know what I'm doing." Okay, well, here, let's try to figure it out. So there she was with the pole and the recorder and the microphone and everything. So when I get it, it doesn't sound very good. So I always say, you can't make chicken soup out of chicken, chicken crap. So I actually, what actually came out better was the audio from the camera. So most of the audio that was overhead mic, I didn't even use. I actually used the mic audio from the cameras that they used, and the stuff that she used, I scrapped. It was echoey and chambery. No matter how much I EQ'd it and ran it through processors, I couldn't get rid of it. And so finally, when she was like, "Can you get rid of this?" I was like, "You know what? Let's try it this way," and it came out much better. Got rid of the hiss because it was all hissy. It sounded like us three here can understand this from cassette tapes that hiss.
Oh yeah.
Finally, it sounded like a cassette tape recording. So yeah, it came out really good. She got a couple of awards for it and stuff, and that's how we were like able to get an IMDb credits for it. So like you have to actually be able to, you can't just like, oh, I want to have a credit. So like you have to have like certain criteria to get one of those. And that was how we were able to get a credit for it. So that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah.
So
That's
Bill is
pretty
famous.
Yeah.
He is famous.
He just
Yeah.
doesn't brag.
Ah.
Just once in a while, just
Yeah.
whenever a movie thing comes up. So.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple things where like, okay, so this guy was drinking a gallon of water, and he was talking and he was chugging some water, and of course that didn't get picked up. So it was just silent for this one part, and I'm like, all right, now I'm turning into a Foley artist for this. So what do? We always have water here because we have hard water. I live out in the country, so we have well water and it's hard water. So we don't drink our water. So I go get our gallon of water, and I mimic what he had in the water. He had just about this much in the gallon, and so I took this microphone and went up to it and chugged it the way that he did and mimicked it, and then he did like a. That's what I did. So when I showed it to her, his name was Glenn. I don't remember what his name was in the movie, but she goes, "Oh, that wasn't Glenn." I go, "No, that was me." She's like, she started cracking up. She goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "I thought that was him." I was like, "No." And then there was a part where he's hanging up these things in a drugstore, and they were like these plastic. I don't remember what they were, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have almost the exact same thing in my studio here." They were Hot Wheels, but they were in these plastic bins, and the plastic was exact to what he was hanging up. And of course, again, it was silent, and it didn't. There was like no sound for that. I'm like, you gotta have sound for that. So I went over to the pegs, and I have like pegs when I was doing all my car collecting. So I put the microphone there, and I like mimicked him putting them on there in the plastic and everything, and had to like overdub that and stuff. So not only did I do like all the music overdub and stuff, so now I turned into a Foley artist and crinkling paper and everything. I had a lot of fun.
Sound effects.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. It was really cool. So I think that would be a really neat job. So
yeah, the sound guy. And hey, Cynthia, how's it going? So yeah, that's fun.
That is very fun.
Yes, hi, Cynthia. Yeah.
Royal Paranormal, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. But also, I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but my very good friend Nando and I just started a network channel. It's called Wonders of the World Network. What we want to do is bring different podcasts from all around the world and just make it one big safe, drama-free, and negativity-free network. So we're actually, the first time today, we're actually streaming through it. So
hey,
yeah, it's great.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Everybody knows right now. I haven't seen Cynthia lately for a podcast.
She says her work schedule changed because I asked her the other day about that. And when Bill and I were doing a live, I questioned her what happened to her live cooking program. So she was talking with Bill, and Bill told her just when she cooks dinner, make that the show. So this way she's not losing out on content.
That's right. Excellent.
Just hit record.
Yeah.
Then
that's awesome. Yeah.
You're just, that's what I do. And, somebody had said, I like, about like some things that I do. They had said, I like that you just film everyday things that you do. Like, even if I say, all right, I have to pull this car out of the garage. Well, I film it, it's like, if I don't really have anything going on, I go ahead and film what I do, and like I said, I think, before we went on, I said, I have certain standards and certain things that I do. If people don't sort of like what you do on your channel, it's not really about like, you want the subs and you want to appease people, but you really don't. It's more about like, do you enjoy what you do? You have to enjoy you have to enjoy your work that you put into your channel.
Yes.
And not go, all right, well, this is what people want to see. I don't really like doing it this way, but this is what everybody wants, so I'm going to do it this way. No, you know what? Do it your way and enjoy what you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I run my channel, and the way that I edit, and the way that I do things. Like I had one guy say I was soldering underneath the car, and instead of taking, like, when I did the soldering thing, it would have taken 10 minutes to solder it and stuff. Well, I did a sped up montage with music, and the guy was like, "How did you solder that? This video doesn't make any sense. I didn't even see how you did it. There's too much music, blah blah blah." And to me, I didn't care that he said that, because it's not about him being. That's not what my channel's about. It's not really it is kind of a how-to and a DIY show, but if you don't know how to solder, that's not really what my channel's about. If you want to learn how to solder, go to a different one. It's how to get that check engine light out.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the problem. Now let's put it in, install it. Not like how to solder today. So go, like maybe some other time I'll do like a how to solder video, but that's not how this one was going today. And so if I took that to heart, him like screaming in caps, that this video sucks, then I'm gonna like not want to run my channel and like give up. So I just don't do it run it the way you want,
Right. You do your content, your audience will find you.
Yeah, and Lady Victoria, Susan, I know that I'm preaching to the choir here. You've been browbeaten too, and nonetheless, you still do it the way you want, right?
Absolutely.
Laura too. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir here, so.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, content creator. I mean, it's your show. You run it the way you want, and
yes,
if people aren't happy with it, then they just don't watch it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's like the great thing about like YouTube, guys, is like you don't have to like pay to put your stuff on there, and it's not like you can get canceled. So you could just keep doing it if it sucks. Right. So you're doing it for you, and I know like my buddy would come over and go, "You should be filming this and putting it on YouTube," just like Cynthia here. If she's making an awesome meal, she should be filming it and putting it on there. And just like my buddy said, you should be filming it. So,
hi, Goth Gal.
Hey, Goth Gal. So, and somebody else said hi, and I think I missed it. Yeah, I'm trying. Hello, Wolf. Sorry, I didn't. Somebody said hi. Shane.
Shane, yeah. Hi, Shane.
Yes.
Shane, yes. Hi, Shane.
Yes. How you doing, brother? So, yeah, sorry, that was my rant.
So, Bill, I have to ask you, I've been always curious.
Yeah.
Have you always had such a great interest in cars, like since was young?
Yeah. And so okay, I was I'm gonna give away my age, but I don't care. When you get this old, you don't care how old you are. So I was born in 74, right? Mm-hmm. So I always wondered how I got into cars. And I was like, why and how and everything. My mother was kind of responsible for it. We would go shopping. I was the youngest, and she would go, if you behave. So my older siblings, they were at school, and I was the youngest. So I'd be in tow to go grocery shopping, or she was a shopaholic. So she'd say, if you behave, if you're good, I'll buy you a Matchbox or a Hot Wheel. Mm-hmm. So I remember I'd always go, and I'd be like, oh, the thing's coming where it's like we're wrapping up so I'd go grab a Hot Wheel or whatever it was. And I remember always gravitating towards the Euro cars, like the European cars. Like it wasn't like a muscle car or something. Sometimes it was, that would grab my eye, but it was always like a Euro car. And I remember like grabbing this one black car, and I was like, man, what is this thing? It looks so sleek and everything. And then what it turned out to be was a Porsche 911. And I was like, okay, why am I gravitated to this car? So we started watching reruns of that show Chips.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we're like watching that. In the very first, I think first or second episode, there's a Porsche 911. And it looks exactly like that black, my very first car I think that I've ever bought. Like, it's a Matchbox 911. And I'm like, it's like a 1978 stamping on the bottom of this Porsche 911. So I must have been about 4 years old. And I was like, oh my gosh. I go, that's the reason why I'm into that car, because of that show Chips. It was my favorite show when I was a little kid. Couldn't get enough of that. The motorcycles, there was always an awesome car chase. You know what? That show is still kind of cool right now. I watch a lot of reruns, like Dukes of Hazzard was one of my favorites.
Love Dukes of Hazzard.
I used to love it, but now I've seen it and I go, oh my God, I can't believe I watched this.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Like Knight Rider's still awesome, but like Chips, I can actually still watch and go, this is pretty good, and not cringe. You know, it's not cringeworthy. A-Team, but like there's a lot of like stuff that like I can watch or can't watch, but Chips still really is kind of up there, and But the reason why I think I'm into like cars and like Euro cars is Chips, because like it was filmed out in LA, and like there's like a lot of money there out in LA, like with Hollywood and stuff. So there was like a lot of BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, and like Jaguars and stuff. And I think that show got me into like Euro cars. Plus my mother, she had like expensive taste. And when we would drive around, she'd be like, oh, look at that Mercedes. Oh, look at that Jaguar. Look at it. And so I was always like, I always gravitated towards those things. Now, do I like muscle cars? Yes. I'm like a Dodge guy. Yes. But like really like Euro cars, like Porsches and stuff, Porsche is my number one go-to flagship car that I love. But that's, I think, to answer your question, sorry it was so long-winded, but yeah, that probably is it for me. I think Chips did it, and my mother, not my father. So, yeah. Oh,
wow. My favorite car was a Corvette.
Yeah.
Because my friend had one, candy apple red with the T roof.
Oh, so they must have had like a C3 Corvette. So that's that would be probably like, so was it like a 70s?
Yes.
Or an 81 and down?
Yep. And I remember every time she wanted to top off, God, that was heavy.
Heavy, yeah, because they're made out of glass.
Off. Yep.
Yep. So I had a couple IROC Zs, and I also had a 1992 anniversary edition, which are the Camaros. And then for those cars, I know we're talking Camaros and Corvettes, but they switched to, because those had T-tops as well. And they switched to an acrylic top. So they, my early IROC Zs had a glass top, and those were heavy. But then they switched to an acrylic top. And I remember when I first got that 1992, I was like, oh, it was like a Lexan plexiglass, and they were super light. So they switched them from the glass tops. They weren't so heavy anymore. So, yeah.
It would be so funny because I remember a couple of times we'll be cruising on the highway. All of a sudden it'll be raining, and we're like, shit, we left it.
Yes.
It's not like it could go with you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you were screwed. So
yeah.
Well, they have like she didn't. Well, you could put them in the. She didn't have the bag where she put them in the bag, or she just left them at the house.
She left them on the floor. Yeah, on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could take them with you because they have like a bag that you put them in. She just chose not to. So, but yeah. So
I can't remember the sports car you had, Bill, when you and I first.
That was my '92 Camaro. Yep.
Is that what it was? 'Cause I remember that time you had to give me a ride home, and we went to your house to pick up that car.
That was my anniversary Camaro I was telling you about. It was a Z28 1992 Camaro that I had.
All right. So yeah, Bill gave me a ride home in that. I don't know if he was trying to show off or what, but I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I just feel like an old lady in a sports car.
Yeah,
I never told you that.
They had the high-rise wing on the back.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, back in the day I would have said, oh yeah, but I'm older than Bill, and I'm thinking, I feel kind of stupid.
Yeah, they had it was called the Heritage package on it with the so it was red, with the black stripes running down it. Yeah, that was cool.
So yeah, he gave me the hot rod ride home. I'm sure family probably thinking, who the hell's this lady in our driveway?
So I remember I went to go get new center caps for that because when I bought that car, they were missing because somebody stole them from the dealership. And I go into the other dealership to buy them because I bought it from secondhand, and they were like $100 a piece for these center caps. This was back in like 1996. Hey, Pomp. And so I go, $100. He goes, yeah. He goes, you're driving a Corvette, basically. He goes, the drivetrain in that car, the engine is a Corvette. He goes, just the top, the shell of the car is, which is funny because that car now is worth more than so that's a 92. If there was a 92 Vet, today, that car is worth more than that 92 Vet would be. So, that car is worth about 25 grand now. And then, a 92 Vet is probably worth about 15 if it was in good shape. So I miss that car, but they're just a car. That's the way I am with cars now.
Then you bought your father's Durango.
Yeah, I did.
I remember that.
You remember that? Yeah.
I remember that.
That black one.
Yep.
Yeah, I totaled that. I actually hit a what did I hit? Oh, some lady down here. She actually hit me, and then totaled that out. Bought it back from the insurance company, paid it off. I sent it to the frame shop, straightened it out, put a new fender on it, and then drove it for a few more years, and then sold it.
There you go.
Yeah. Then I bought another Durango. I had 4 Durangos. Yeah.
I remember that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just feel that the cars now are not as sturdy as the ones back then,
Yeah, well, like
it's attractive, I think. I think they're great looking.
So like the Durangos and stuff and like, pickup trucks, they have like a frame, whereas like cars, they have like a unibody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if we're talking head-on collisions, they have crumple zones, but on the sides, they don't have crumple zones. So it all depends. When they do crash tests, the crash test ratings, like the 5, you see those 5 stars and stuff, they're talking head-on collisions and stuff. So they're not talking like side impacts and stuff. So I do believe that a side impact for older cars, I think, were stronger because they weren't plastic. They just weren't. They didn't
Everything's
have all
all
that
glass now. There's awful lot of glass.
Yeah, I know.
Everything looks the same. It's like everything
Thanks,
that they put out, even I don't care who it's. Everything they put out looks the same. You can't really tell anything apart anymore.
I thought of that too. I wanted to be a trooper back in the day, which I'm glad I'm not. But I was thinking about that. Like back in the day, I'd be able to tell you like I'm chasing a Ford Taurus, a 1989 Ford Taurus. I'm chasing a C10 pickup truck. I'd be able to tell you like they'd be like, man, this guy knows what he's chasing. Or like I'm pulling this car over. Like I'd be able to tell you what it was. Nowadays, I'd be like, yeah, I'm pulling over a car.
It's blue.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was. I could tell you the symbols. I know what the symbols are. Pulling over a Hyundai. Yeah, what model?
Yeah, because they all look alike.
The same. Yeah. So
like when they come out with the new Broncos, we were somewhere, George and I think. I go, what the hell is that thing? He goes, well, that's the new Broncos. I go, they didn't even look like a Bronco.
I loved my old Bronco. It had the lock caps in the front. I loved it.
Yeah. What year was your Bronco?
Oh, it was, I forgot the year, but it was huge. It was like a big box.
Oh, so you must have had the first, not a Bronco 2.
No,
was yours a full-size Bronco?
No. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like the O.J. Simpson Bronco.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So yours was just good. Yours was a Bronco.
Yes.
So like yours was like a 94 or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, they had them in the 70s, in the 80s, and they stopped making those big ones in like 1996 ish. The big one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they pretty much cut them in half.
Awesome. The only thing is that they went through a lot of gas quickly.
Yeah. Because they had a 302 V8 in them.
Yes. Yep.
But I love those things too.
Oh, I love them.
But at least you could tell what it was back then. Nowadays,
now you can't.
Somebody say, "Well, what is it?" I have no idea. It's a car or truck or whatever. I don't know. They all look alike.
Did it have the retractable window in the back that went down into the gate?
I believe so.
Yeah. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Let's see. Farrell Goth, she says, Bill, I feel like you are the person that created my first car just to see if you could. A 95 Dodge Neon that was totaled, then rebuilt. I remember when Neons, do you remember Goth Girl? You remember the Neon commercials? Hi, Neon. Remember, it was just, that was their commercials. Hi. That was their Dodge Neon came without commercials. It just was like, hi, Neon. That was Dodge's,
that was weird.
Yeah. Advertising campaign. Like they would, little kids riding by on bikes, they see them in the driveways and they go, hi, Neon. But yeah, I might have worked on that car for a Goth Girl. Just kidding.
Wow.
I remember they put out for a 4-cylinder car. That was like pretty good. They put out 130 horsepower for a little 4-cylinder.
Well, yeah, it's just awful. You know, my father complains about it too. We'll sit on the front porch and cars will go by. He goes, you can't even tell what anything is anymore. They all look alike. He goes, what's the deal with the whole roof if it's all glass? He goes, you get in an accident. He goes, you're going to get all cut up. I said, well, what can I tell you, Dad? That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know, because he's an old car guy and very disappointed in the way that things are going.
Right.
And then with that Cybertruck thing there. That is just the ugliest thing.
Oh my God. One was parked in front of my work and it's the ugliest thing I've ever saw in my life.
It's enormous too.
Oh my God.
Rolling dumpster is what it is.
My God.
It's exactly what I think of as a dumpster going down the street.
I was thinking of can opener. I don't know why. It's just.
It's because it has all those sharp angles to it.
I know. It's crazy. Like
we've got a couple of them that are around here that people drive them, and I'm thinking, what
are they expensive?
Thinking, yes.
Yeah, they're like 130,000.
So what do they do? Is there anything differently that they do? Like, is there any special features or?
I know they can't tow anything that's very heavy because the bumper gets ripped off.
Yeah, they have like
a video.
I don't know. I'll get in
Actually,
trouble.
It was the hitch itself.
I'll get in trouble if I start. I'll get
Why
in trouble.
Why are you gonna get in trouble? Dennis ain't watching.
No, Dennis is on board with it's not that. I just wanted to Kiwi, she said something about hubby sees a vehicle on a show, he's hooked, particularly muscle cars. Yeah, I wanted to.
Oh, I'm a muscle car girl.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. I am too. It's just I just want to clear this up. I am a car guy, period. So there's not like that I don't like. I should clarify this. Laura talking about cars driving by her house. It's not like, oh, I love that car. I love that car. I don't hate like I like muscle cars. I like. So if I'm at a car meet or and some guy's got a nice car, I'm a car guy. I'll go over and chat to this guy. I'll chat to this guy. If he's got a nice Honda Civic that he built, I'm gonna go talk to him. If it's nice, I want to talk to him. What did you do to this? If he's got a Datsun,
shake your booty.
If he's got a Datsun 240Z, I'm gonna go talk to him. I love those cars. If there's a Dodge Charger, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm a car guy, so it's not like, oh, he's got a Ford. I'm not gonna go. I don't like Fords. I'm not. So I'm just a car guy.
So there's some nice Fords out there.
Yeah.
So that's the
Hey, Two-Ply, can I cheat and tell you voodoo now? It's for a contest he's got going on. Sneaking an extra voodoo. And so, I might. I've always had the hard on for the muscle cars.
Yeah, definitely.
It's of course, I don't know. It's because usually they say it's a guy thing, but I just love the sheer power.
Yeah.
Two-Ply, you got your coffee or what?
So,
Gal,
Goth Gal says that the new that Metrocity seems to be bulletproof, but aren't.
Yeah.
Ugh, God, it's just ugh.
Maybe because there's so many angles to it, a bullet can't penetrate because there's not a flat surface. It kind of ricochets off.
Maybe.
Yeah, radar can't find it, you know? It's the
I
angles.
won't buy one anytime soon. Hey, Bill, what do you think about bringing in hydrogen?
It's ridiculous.
You think?
So, yeah, because, all right, so you know that in California they already have it, right?
No, I didn't know that.
All right, so the whole idea behind hydrogen is to have it, it's you know where hydrogen comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's from water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the whole idea of a hydrogen car is to like pour water into your car. So that's what you're thinking, right? Is that what you're thinking? So I just want to clarify.
It's not going to work with the cars that we have now.
So I just want to clarify, like, is that what you mean? Like a hydrogen powered car? Is that what you're thinking? Put water in your car?
No, I was thinking more like, can you actually create a hydrogen car? Like, use
hydrogen. Okay, yes. So you're saying put water in your car and drive it off of hydrogen. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. There's a guy in the early 1990s made one. Look him up. I forgot his name, but he was then mysteriously murdered.
Doesn't Jay Leno have a hydrogen car? I think Jay Leno owns one.
Yeah, he lives in California.
He drives it around in California. It's an old one, but it's not a new one. It's an old timer.
Oh, you mean steam powered?
I'm not sure if it's steam or hydrogen, but I know that he has one. Oh, Jay Leno has one of everything.
No, I think, okay, so it's not going to be hydrogen powered. It's okay. So here's the way that the hydrogen people, the people that are doing these hydrogen powered cars, are making them. So the hydrogen costs about $11 to $12 a gallon. And see, this is why this is so backward, and I'm gonna get in trouble here, but this is so backward, just like the electric car thing is so backward. Mm-hmm. It's a gimmick. It is not feasible. It's a gimmick. We get 40% of our electricity from Canada. 40 to 60% of our electricity comes from Canada. It gets piped in from Canada. We don't even make all of our electricity, first of all. Mm-hmm. We get rolling brownouts in California, and they tell them, please don't charge your car today. We can't afford it. We don't have the electricity to give you. Okay, right. So, and I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to get into it. I'm getting stressed. Let me just drink a cup of coffee here. Hang on.
Breathe deeply.
All right. Now,
in through the nose, out the mouth.
So the hydrogen car that they actually have created is only available in California because there's hydrogen fueling stations in California that you drive up to and put the hydrogen in your car. Mm-hmm. Now, the whole idea is to put water into your car so that you can go into, okay, I ran out of hydrogen. Oh, really? Cool. Let's go find a creek, a stream, an ocean, and pour it into your car. And everybody will have sustainable transportation forever. Oh, it's raining. I'm going to get a funnel and just funnel it right into my, right? That's how you create hydrogen. That would be perfect, right? So I'm all on board. But the way that they've done it is, no, you can't have that. We're going to make sure that we're still in control with hydrogen fueling stations.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's what they've done to still keep in control, just like with Bitcoin. They still want to make sure that, mm-hmm. No, you can't have Bitcoin. And the way that I've tried to explain, say Bitcoin to my wife. Yeah, Jamie, I agree. Nuclear power is where it's at. I said, imagine, she's like, well, I don't understand. I said, okay, imagine I want to buy a car off a marketplace. And there's a guy that says, I'll take your used toilet paper. And I want 100 sheets of used toilet paper for my car. And then the government says, you can't do that. You can't accept 100 sheets of Bill's used toilet paper. Well, why not? I'm Joe, and I want his used toilet paper for my used car. And the government says, well, wait a minute, that's not fair. You can't do that. We want a cut of that. Can we have like 10 sheets of the used toilet paper? But wait a minute, that's not worth anything. We don't want Bill's used toilet paper. It's got stuff on it. It's not worth anything. But Joe wants it because it's worth something to Joe. Joe wants it. Mm-hmm. That's what Bitcoin is. And then the government still says, wait a minute, but we still want Bitcoin. We want to be a part of it. And there's no way that it's worth something. Wait, it's worth something? We're mad about it. And we want a cut of it too. Darn it. Right. How dare you people, you common thieves. It's not fair. You're not going to use the bank anymore? That's not fair. We're the government. We get to do stuff. So that's what anyways, getting back to the hydrogen. Yes. Pour water in your tank. It'd be awesome. Unless the car is capable of making it on board. But the way that they're doing it in California is they're making fuel cells, or these hydrogen cells. You got to see them. You should Google image it. They're like these giant cell things. They look like giant massive generators that you have to drive up to, and it's like $12 a gallon.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, and and they get no better mileage than, they get maybe like 10 better than like a gas car or a diesel. Really, diesel is where it's at. Diesel is a byproduct of gasoline. Before diesel, they would like throw diesel out and they'd use it for like oiling components and stuff. Then they're like, what are we gonna do with this stuff that's like left over? It's like this oily stuff. I don't know, like use it to like oil stuff up or just throw it out in the ocean. Then they were like, hey, maybe we can use it for this. The German dude who invented the diesel engine was like, hey, maybe we could use it for like a high compression engine. And he like decided, hey, now I could use diesel. It's just crazy. And in the UK, there's like way more diesel engines than there are gasoline engines or petrol engines than there are here. But they won't like import diesel engines here because it's like a control thing.
Smell.
They do. It's called a catalytic converter and DEF fluid.
Yes.
Have you ever been behind a tractor trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Do you smell diesel anymore? You don't. It's because
I've never
there's
really
DEF fluid.
paid attention. Okay.
It's because there's DEF fluid. The DEF fluid cleans them out now.
Yeah, because it's awful.
And if you're behind like a truck that since 2013 they've had to have DEF fluid. I forgot what it stands for, DEF. And but it's now like an environmental protection thing, EPA thing.
Right.
But so yeah, well, I mean,
I agree. I will not on a mini bomb either.
Well, he's right. So okay, so the hydrogen thing what he's talking about is, thank you, diesel emissions fluid. Thank you.
There you go.
I mean, I used to be a truck driver. I should know what it stands for.
Shame on you, Bill. That's it.
So what Jamie's talking about, so these hydrogen things, you fill up these chambers that sit underneath you of hydrogen, and we all heard of like the hydrogen bomb. They sit underneath you. You're filling these tanks that sit underneath you. If you fill a tank with water, and you have a pump that transforms it at the carburetor and does its job at the carburetor, the hydrogen's being transformed there at the source. There's no bomb. But these cars have these tubes, these chambers underneath them that store the hydrogen.
Yeah.
And it's way more and then you have at the pumps, these so-called pumps, these hydrogen pumps, are these massive like we've all seen like propane storage places with these giant propane tanks. Again, you see these places that have these hydrogen tanks, and this is only in California, and they're trying to get this all done here. And since New York is worse than
Well, New York
California
is the you know
is going to be the next.
The suck up to California. Everything California does, New York follows suit.
Yeah. So but so Dodge came out with that electric Charger, and it's not the Charger. What is it called? The Daytona. And they stopped building the Hemi engine. I think in 2023. Well, they fired up their Hemi plant again, their gas engines, because nobody's buying that stupid electric Daytona, or Daytona. Nobody's buying it. And you started out at like 60 or 70 grand for this thing. Well, now they're let down to like 30. Nobody wants it. And it has like a sound effect on the outside, like speakers on it, so it sounds like a shifting gear, like a V8 engine. But nobody wants it. Nobody's buying it, and they're actually firing up their gasoline plant again, their gas engine plant, and starting to build the Charger and Challenger again. So it's pretty cool. I think that's awesome. The people have spoken. So yeah, the consumer has spoken. It's just like don't tell the people what they want. The people are going to tell the manufacturers what they want, and they have, and Dodge is listening, at least. So far, yeah, I used to love that commercial.
Yeah. So is it true that the electric cars are really expensive to maintain?
So I think initially no, but so there's like so I watch a lot of the channels, you know, with the guys that they'll buy a lot of cars at auctions and things like that, and they'll do it for content. These are the guys that have like, you know, a couple million, 3 million subscribers, and they can afford to like just throw bad money after good and good money after bad. And they'll buy, like, one guy bought one of those Chevy Volts, and I think he paid like $5,000 for it with a dead battery. So he took it to the Chevy dealership, and the battery lives behind the back seat, underneath the seat, and they quoted him $28,000 for the battery replacement.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the car was I think the car was a 2013 or something like that. So, you know, the previous owner gets, you know, 10 years out of the thing, and he paid, you know, $50,000 or something, or $40,000 or $50,000 for this little stupid car, and the battery is junk, and then the whole idea is to save the universe with these things, and they're filled with cobalt, and they're not recyclable, these things, and they're very hard to recycle when you do, and they the recycling process is terrible. Plus the cobalt are mined from a tiny mine. There's not a lot of cobalt left. There's only one mine that it comes from, Central Africa in the Congo, and so there's not a lot of that left in the world. So unless we find more somewhere, but it's only in the Congo. So,
no, a lot of people were, you know, when they first come out with the electric cars, bragging about, oh, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it's just so much cheaper, and not for nothing. Okay, you're spending how much? 50, 60 grand on the vehicle. Mm-hmm. But nobody has the charging station in their house, so that's an added expense.
Yeah, and around
at home.
Yeah, and around here, there's not that many stations as well.
Right. So I mean, you know, you have to hire an electrician to install this specialty plug into your house, so that's more expense. Then your electric bill goes up. That's more of an expense. So you're really not saving jack on these vehicles. And again, like you said, they're not really environmentally friendly. And then again, if you talk about distance on per charge, you know, okay, what is it? How many hours of driving time you get on one charge of the vehicle? I forget. Bill probably knows. But where a road trip would take you, say you're going from here to Florida, and it would take you 20 hours. Now it's taking you longer because you have to stop to charge the thing for 30
have to stop
to 40 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, you know, it'd be cool if we had vehicles that there was this sort of juice. If only there was like a sort of liquid that you could put in a car any car really, some sort of liquid that you could stop at a place, maybe take like 1 to 2 minutes, put a liquid or juice of some sort in, pay for it and leave, and then get like, 300 or so miles out of it, and then have to do that again for like 2 minutes. What do you guys think? Like some sort of juice, a liquid of some sort. What do you think?
We go back to the future route and use garbage.
Wonder what that would be.
Yeah, like a recyclable garbage. That would be
right.
I don't know. Gasoline, maybe.
What was they called? The fusion. Is that what they was called?
Listen. There's nothing better than the internal combustible engine. There's nothing better. It's been around for over 100 years. There's nothing better. And there's that old saying, don't fix it if it ain't broke. There's just nothing better. And they keep getting better. The horsepower output is astronomical. Cars are just way too fast nowadays. I mean, even a Prius, I've seen like the cops doing like chases with those things. Like you're like, that's a Prius, like, and it's like smoking a cop car, not smoking them, but that's giving them a run for his money. And like, they're fast. The cars are just fast, putting crazy amounts of energy out of little tiny engines. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. Mama Piz Awakening, welcome.
Yes, welcome to the show.
I haven't seen you here before, so definitely welcome. So, Bill, what do you think about hybrid?
Let me see. Government got my thing. I'm sorry, say it again.
What do you think about hybrid?
I think that's an awesome way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I struggle a bit with the with the cobalt factor, but I guess I'm trying to like appease both worlds in my own mind. I don't really try to appease anybody, but in my head I go, I think hybrid's okay because we got the best of both worlds in there.
You like the electricity around the city, and then if you're going to do long distance, then you switch over.
Yeah, because you have regeneration, and you don't ever have to plug that in. But what bugs me is you still have, if they're in an accident and that battery's in there, and I've seen how bad those batteries can be. Yeah. But again, they're getting better. The battery situation is getting better. So I do like the hybrid situation. I don't like full electric because the reason why here's my issue. I'm not, this is just my opinion. Listen, I want to preface this this is just my opinion, everybody. I'm not doing this to get anybody irritated with me. This isn't about politics. This isn't about how you voted or anything like that. This isn't about how I voted. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. Okay. So, I just have a little bit of an issue with anybody being in charge of what I can do. And what I mean by that is like, okay, so say you might think I'm nuts, but what if this can happen? Bill's like into black helicopters and stuff and conspiracy theories, but stranger things have happened. Now, what if somebody in the government doesn't like you, or say you have your electric car and you go to turn it on one day and it doesn't run, and that's because they shut it off on you. Now, a gas car, yeah, maybe they can do that, but there's more chance of them being able to turn off an electric car and not letting it run than your gas car. I mean, that's why I love older cars, because you can't do anything to my older car. Right. But a car that can be digitally affected by a satellite signal, I don't like it. I just I like freedom, and I like being able to make my own decision. I just don't like, hey, we're going to infiltrate every dealership with an electric car, and we don't care what you want. This is the way you're going to do it. And if you don't like it, tough, move and all this stuff. Well, you know what? Again, like I said, Dodge has converted back over to start building the Hemi engines again because the people have spoken. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, we're talking about the people speaking. And that's just my point. It doesn't have to do with like politics or anything. I'm just talking about what I like and I just don't like them. Now, say like a Gen Xer, they're all loving electric stuff because that's what they grew up with. Now, if I said, hey, let's listen to one of these vinyl albums, I think it would be kind of cool to like, reminisce with this vinyl album. They might go, I don't want to listen to that piece of crap. But you and us right here, we might go, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Let's listen to that like skippy sound, that vinyl sound. We might like think it's kind of cool and nostalgic. Hey, I got a cassette. Let's listen to that hissy sound. But maybe they don't want to. But you and I know that sound sounds way better than an MP3 will ever sound. That data is way compressed.
The vinyl
that sound is way compressed. But if you try to explain that there's less compression and you're going to get a way better sound, you might not be able to explain that to like a millennial or a Gen Xer or something like that. I don't know. I think, I'm showing my age and I'm just old school.
Well, they have to listen to the difference. There is a definite difference when you hear between an LP and then listening to a CD.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference.
Now, here's the thing. What I like to, I just think it's a gimmick. Would I like an electric motorcycle? Yeah, I love it. I think it'd be cool because I think it's a gimmick. Would I like to like take it on a long trip? Absolutely not. Because I don't want to take a gimmick on a long trip. Would I like a car for a gimmick? Maybe just to like shoot down to like the local store as a talking point for like, hey, and like a cars and coffee thing. Yeah. But not like my everyday safety thing. I want like a gas car that I could feel and hear. I want that driver's feel. Listen, I've got a 1987 Porsche 944 Turbo that when that turbo kicks in at 3,000 RPM, which takes a long time for a turbo to kick in, but that's 80s turbo. When it kicks in, it makes my heart go, whoa, and like my adrenaline kick in and I start shaking. There's no feeling like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I watch all the shows. I've never driven an electric car. I've never driven a Tesla Plaid where like from 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds. Wonderful. That's fine. I don't care. I would love to feel it and stuff, but I don't care. It doesn't impress me. I don't ever go, man, I'd love to have that. And I don't care. I've been to drag races with 9-second cars, 10-second cars that I could smell. I can hear it and feel it and stuff. Like, in a 64 Valiant and 69 Chargers and stuff. I like that. I just like it, man. And then I see like them going against like a Plaid and stuff like that. And these are like numbers racing. They're bracket racing. They're not really racing each other. They're doing brackets. Is it interesting? Yeah. Do I think Teslas look cool? Yeah. And when they first came out, I liked them. I still like them. I don't think they're like a bad car. I like them. I don't like what people are doing to these cars. I don't think it's right. But I'm just old school, Susan, So.
Well, it's like I was saying, when you look at the muscle car, it's not as much as the speed, even though they had the speed, it's the power. You feel, you can actually feel the power of the engine. And that's what gets the adrenaline going. And
and you know what?
That's the appeal.
So, Feral Goth Girl, and I don't know, like, I know you're kidding around. Like, I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound nutty or fruity or nothing like that, but I hope I'm not. But so what is that? Man Pops? Awakening, Bill, I agree. I drive a 95 camper van. Oh, cool. Is it the Volkswagen, like the van again? Soon to be on the road fully when baby's grown up. Camper van. I bet you it's a van again or something. Oh, maybe it's like a Dodge. I also have a 2002 Dodge conversion van. I bought that. I brought that up from Florida. I found it on the internet, and rust free, and I had it shipped up. I bought it sight unseen, and I brought it up from Florida, and that's actually parked out back. I took it off the road, and now the rodents got into it.
Oh no!
So I got to gut it. So
Yeah, it's like amazing. It's so many cars out there. It's like I'll probably have to get into another car
What do you
in a
got?
year or so. And the thing is, like, there's so many out there. It's like hard
Go
decision.
old school. I would go old
Well,
Hard
school.
decision.
well, if you're gonna get, so you're gonna laugh, but people always go, "What?" I tell you what, Kia is making some awesome stuff, and they're making some like they're doing some really good like rebates and buy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kia's got some wicked nice cars, man. Wicked
I
nice.
got a Nissan Rogue.
Oh, those are wicked nice too. What year's yours?
Mine's a 2017, but I go for like the out there colors. Like I don't want a black or a white. I want like neon orange or green.
I love that.
Or
I love that copper orange. Oh,
yeah,
so
I have that.
So my buddy Dennis, his wife just bought a new Rogue. Or no, she had a Rogue and she bought the Murano.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's super sweet, man. The CRV is wicked nice too. The Honda CRV.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice
too.
too.
I test drove it and
It's
I
small.
was lower to the ground. Like I like being high up.
Yeah.
And the Rogue, I was higher up.
Yeah.
The
you know
CRV,
what?
I was like down to I felt like I was still low.
Yeah, sitting on the road. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CRV actually, it's nice, but did you know, like I hear I go recommending and saying that car, but it's got like one of the highest death ratings in it.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so sorry to like recommend that thing to you, but
don't buy the death car, Susan.
No, well,
because it's a small SUV and like I guess it has a high rollover or something.
Oh, bummer.
No, so the Kias, that's the older ones from like the they stopped that in like 15 lower. That break-in rate in the hot wire thing. Yes. They fixed that. So if she got a newer one, that wouldn't happen. And
so many problems. All the new ones have all kinds of recalls on them.
Yeah. I used to go with Volkswagen all the time, but I found after so many years, like you just come into like tons of electrical issues.
Yep. So I've had a few Audis in my day, and Audis are good for the first 2 years for like the doctors and attorneys that own them. So Porsche owns Audi and Audi and Volkswagen, along with Bugatti and Lamborghini. They own them.
Bugatti.
And they're I don't want to say they're over engineered. They're great cars. Like I said, the first 2 to 3 years of their life, then the electrical gremlins start. So
yeah, I had a friend that had a Volkswagen Beetlebug in the first couple of years. It was great, and then it just slowly started to fall apart on her.
Yeah,
I mean literally fall apart.
Yeah. You mean like the new Beetle?
I don't.
Well, it couldn't be an old one.
I know. I think it was kind of the newer version.
Yeah, the new version. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But this was a few years back, and
I used to love. Believe it or not, the Beetle was comfortable. I had an electric blue one, and I really liked it. I mean, it's not as small as people think it is in the inside, right. But again,
they're huge in the inside.
It started having electrical issues.
Yeah. Yep. So you had the 1.8 turbo, or did you have the 2.0 turbo?
I had the 2.0.
Yep. So it was a 2.0 naturally. It didn't have the turbo in it, right?
Nope.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because they made a 1.8 turbo and then the 2.0 naturally aspirated in it. Yep.
So, Bill, are you into motorcycles at all?
Yeah, I've got 8 of them.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Harleys? So Harleys, what do you think about them?
Yeah. So I don't really, the new ones, like they I mean, it's just the way of the future. They do a lot of thinking now. They have like all this like rain mode and stuff, which I think is great. It makes them a lot safer. The stuff I ride is like old, I guess you can call it vintage stuff. like a 78 CB 500 and like a 93 Kawasaki 750 Vulcan. I have a 2000 Kawasaki Concours 1000.
Wow.
I'm that's what I have now. Like I have like 8 bikes now, but I've had probably, I'd probably say like 50 motorcycles in my life.
Well, I have not seen a video of you with a motorcycle.
I have to. I think one of my first or second videos, I do a walk around the property and I open up some of my outbuildings and film the bikes.
Yeah, he says he needs to get them fixed.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and they're just things. Tim. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Good to see you. And it's things I got to do. Like, I have 6 terabytes of like videos like in my computer that I need to like edit, and it's just I just have. So here's the thing too. Like I have the things that I do.
He's never-ending material. Put it that way.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. I can't speak. Like I get overwhelmed with my thoughts. And I just can't think. This is why too. I hit record with my camera and I start thinking. I'm like, what am I going to say? I have too many thoughts in my head. So, yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have material, but it kind of is because I get inundated and overwhelmed, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not going outside today. I don't feel like it, So let's see. What's Farragut say?
So I had to laugh at second. His live experiencing a motorcycle with a radio blaring, and him earnestly asking, "Do all motorcycles have radios?"
Radios.
The newer ones do, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's annoying, man. Like,
thank you. So do I.
Yeah, and you know what? To be quite frank with you, you asked what do I think of Harleys, and it's not just Harleys. Like a lot of the Rockets have those really annoying, loud, short, stubby mufflers on them and stuff too. Mm-hmm. I find that highly irritating. They take the baffles out and stuff, and they say like. Loud pipes save lives and stuff. No, they actually irritate everybody.
It irritates the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, and
they're heavy too.
And so like weight is your friend with a bike. I can remember being on the thruway and I had I think it was what was that? It was a Kawasaki Vulcan 800, and I was like getting blown all over the thruway, especially like if you'd come up on a tractor trailer. Mm-hmm. But then I never had a Harley, but my parents did. And I rode my mother's. She had an Electra Glide. And I rode that. And it was like, okay, now so I go from that. And it's, they call it a metric bike. So my bike was called a metric bike. The Harley guys, they call it a metric bike. And the Harleys are American, so standard. So you go from a metric bike to Harley and you go, all right, I get why these cost like $30,000. I get it. Mm-hmm. Even the kickstand is like super like heavy gauge metal. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would I ever buy one for? No, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't. Maybe I'd buy like an old one and like fix it up and just to say like I have a Harley Davidson. But I think I bought that motorcycle that I had at that time brand new for like $5,500. Mm-hmm. And my parents, they paid like used for my mother's bike was like $23,000, and I'm not doing that, man. Like you could now you could say you have
her husband one a brand new Harley. It was $60,000.
Wow.
Well, a buddy of mine he bought an it's called an Evo. That figure sounds very high. Like he just bought one it's called an Evo, and it was $43,000. That's like the super high end.
Well, I mean, maybe it depends on where you live. Yeah, she spent $60,000 on it. I think.
Well, he might have put like a ton of like extras on it, and like said, "Here's what I want this on it," and stuff. He must have built it up. But yeah, I mean, that's stupid. That's like stupid. Mm. $43,000 for a motorcycle, and then he
only drive at certain times of the year.
Well, for us, yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, yes. Like if you're like a little bit down south, I guess.
Yeah.
Like then and you can afford it, then I guess get a motorcycle. But like and then it's like for guys that like snowmobiles now, the last brand new snowmobile I bought was $8,900 out the door, and that was a lot of money. That was in 2008. And then now I still get magazines in the mail, and they show the brand new as tested $25,000, $26,000, $28,000 for a snowmobile.
Do you drive it?
Well, like we hardly get snow anymore up here, you know. And I'm like, these people I see, they still buy these stupid machines.
Waste of money. Yeah, waste of money.
And then they buy the truck. And I remember like doing all that stuff. You gotta buy a trailer, and you gotta buy an enclosed trailer, because if you don't, you get the slush and the salt splashes all over them and wrecks them and rusts them out. So it's got to be enclosed. Then you have to have a truck. Then you got to buy gas. Then you got to get lunch. Then you got to get dinner on the way back. And your trail fees and your insurance and registration and the maintenance upkeep on the sled. It costs you like $20,000 a year to ride. Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to do it like before, like we had my son, my first kid, my wife. I told my wife, I said, all right, we get married and stuff. I said, but just so you know, I'm not home every weekend. Just so you know. Like I was like, just so you know, here's how it's going to be. We'll get married, but I'm not home. I go ride. That's what I do. I snowmobile. Mm-hmm. She was like, okay. Yep. And then my kid was born, and then I sold everything. I was like a family man. I was like, I didn't want to be like away from my family anymore. Like I turned, it was like, she like knew like, okay, once he has a kid, she like took that gamble, and she was right. Like I didn't want to be away from my family anymore. I sold everything.
Right.
But that was like the last sled I had.
It's cheaper to go out and just rent one for the day.
Yeah. And you know what?
And then dump it off and go home.
Well, no, now like I bought a used one, and then I sold that. But me and my friend like that I rode with, as we got older, we'd call each other in the morning, because we'd like the night before we'd all be hyped and everything. And then it'd be like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's like you could hear the wind blowing. It's like 13 degrees. And so anybody that's doing metric, that's Fahrenheit. And we'd be like, hey, what's up? You really want to do this? We'd be like, yeah, dude, let's just not go. We're like, all right, come on, dude, let's just go and get it over with it. We'd be like, this is like our life. We're like, this is how, like, we're supposed to be having a good time. And this is like, we're like saying, let's just go. Let's just get it over with. That's a
good time. Yeah.
This is fun. Let's just get it over with. So I ended up selling her. I still have 2 sleds and stuff, but I don't ride them. They just sit there. So those will be on the channel.
It's good for you to have around your house. I mean, because you got a lot of property. So, you know, if the kids want to take a trip around the yard or two, that's fun.
Yeah, they have no interest.
Not whatsoever. Oh.
No. And I don't blame them. You know, I've had people say, because I have like land property, and just so you know, I am a gun owner, and I have my handgun license, and I have handguns and stuff. And they're like, why don't you hunt? And I'm like, because at 4 o'clock in the morning, I want to be in bed, not leaning against a tree. Like I don't have a problem with hunters or anything. And I don't like venison anyway. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be in bed dreaming at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And then my friends are like, oh, I can't wait for what? Oh, hunting season opens up, turkey season, bow season, rifle season, rock throwing season, you know, yo-yo season.
All that with my husband. My husband was into all of that. So he enjoyed it. Most of the time, he was dressed up. It's cold. You go out into the woods
and sit.
He'd end up leaning up. He'd sit up against a tree and fall asleep, take a nap outside. He loved it.
Why not just take a nap in your bed?
Well, no, because then you're not getting the fresh air and the experience. But yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. But and we used to eat venison, so I like venison.
Not me, man. Yeah. You know what it was? I used to love it. And then one time, like, I got a bad piece or something, and I was just like, all right, I've had enough of this crap. I've had enough of trying to pretend I like this stuff. I'm done.
It's been a while since I had any.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love? I love the new, because Laura and I was talking about them the other day. The new, the trailers, Laura? What do you call them?
The campers. The
campers.
Campers, yeah.
Yes, the extended ones that like fold
Oh,
out.
slide outs.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Nice.
Laura,
We live in those.
you have a camper, right?
Yeah, we've got a pop-up.
Oh,
I
sweet.
love it.
Yeah, that's
Love
nice.
it, love it, love it.
You got a big pop-up,
Yeah,
right?
I bought it from Mike Pritchard. Yeah.
Cool.
It sleeps 6 people.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good
It's
size.
got a kitchen and a little dining area, couches, and
A
yeah,
loft.
I love it.
A steam room.
Yeah, sauna. No,
Sauna.
I open it up
game
in
room.
the yard, and people come to visit. It's like having their own little apartment. And then if it's a bad night for mosquitoes, but I still want to sit outside, I go in and I sit in it.
Yeah, see, that's cool. I like that.
Mm.
And you can still, sit there at the table, have your coffee, and enjoy the outdoors, and not get eaten by the mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I love it because you can just hook it up to anything: car, Jeep, truck.
That's cool.
And just haul it away and open it up where you want. It's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's like it's easy to pull.
Oh yeah, very easy.
Yeah.
Oh, it has an outside stove, so you want to cook outside. You just hook it up and cook away. So it's great. Cool. I love it.
See,
one of the best things I ever bought.
See, we did the boating thing too.
Oh yeah.
I did too.
I love boats, and I did a big one. I had a 30-footer, and then
wow.
And then I went down to a 22, and I loved it. Right. So my wife, I'm seasick. Oh my God. So there was that. I had to sell that, and so we'd go out on this thing, right? I have 3 little kids. Of course, we had to have every snack under the sun. If we didn't, if we left the slip, because it was too big to I had to leave it there at the slip,
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, she'd have to take her, what is it, Dramamine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a big prep thing. I don't know. It was like we were going the lunar surface or something, just to go to the boat, Okay, we're going to the boat. All right, let's prep now. All right, we're going to the moon's surface, and she was in an anti-gravity chair and getting prepped the next day. And then all right, so now we're going. Now, all right, we got the kids ready. And are the kids ready? Did you go to the bathroom? No, I got to go back to the bathroom. Okay, we're going to the bathroom. It's a 40-minute drive there. So we're there. All right, we got to go back to the bathroom. All right, let's go to the bathroom there. All right, we're going to the bathroom. And then all right, we ready? Can we go now? All right, let's go. Get your life preservers on. All right, life preservers are on now. All right, so now we're in the boat. All right, can we get the chips open? We got to get potato chips open. Let's get a drink. Oh, it's we're not even out there yet. We got to have food ready,
have a picnic.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's oh my God, can't we just get going? Can we just anchor out in the water and start no, we got to have chips going. I want a bowl of chips. Where's my chips? She's got my drink. I'll get off my hair. Oh, somebody's touching me. And I'm so we're going through Laura. So Laura's got
to throw them all overboard.
Dude, I wanted to, but I couldn't because there's sheriff's offices really close to there anyway. But so Laura, where the wall is at Sylvan Beach?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going through there, and people. So Susan, they call it the wall, and it's basically a canal, and then it opens up out into the lake, And people they moor their boats against this wall, and they chill out, and they're having cookouts, and it's probably, I don't know, I'd say 300 feet across, and you go it's just a seaway,
Right, you cruise through.
Yeah, and it's 5 mile per hour tops that you can go through. So I'm doing 5, and they're screaming and yelling would you sit down, knock it off? I can't. And I realize people are looking at us, and I'm we're like a floating circus here.
The freak show must be coming through.
Yeah, the freak show. I'm people must be looking at us, going look at this poor SOB, man. Look at him, just wanting to enjoy his Saturday, and she's like, just stop yelling. Will you just knock it off? I'm well, why don't you just sit down? Why can't they just wait till we're? I'm that's it. Just come on. We're just gonna have a good time. I'm just gonna watch out. We're gonna have a good time. Well, I'm not having a good time. You think this is a good time for me? Oh, so Susan, I just, what? I think that lasted 1 year. And you know what?
When I bought 1 year.
One season, I think I bought the boat And I put new canvas. I put new canvas on it and everything. Like I didn't do it. Like I had like a company build new canvas for it, like the bows and everything. So you're near the water, so you know what I'm
money
talking
pits.
Dude, yeah, it cost. I think it was like $3,500 or $4,000 for them to put new canvas. It's so nice, new, beautiful canvas on it. The boat was beautiful, and then I was like, and I don't know. I took a definitely. You'd always lose money with the boat.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, break out another 1,000 was what boat stands for, and I lost money on the thing, and it sucked.
Yeah, we had a 30-foot Cobalt.
Oh, you did? That's a nice boat.
Yeah, it was a cabin cruiser, and because we got it for the river, and that's all we did was pump money into that thing, and I said, "That's it, I've had it."
Yeah, I had a 30-foot Sea Ray, and then the 22 is a 2242 Bayliner with the gunnels were like super high on it. I really liked that one better actually because it was just the back end was open on it and it was just way more user friendly. Nice. Because the Sea Ray, and I like had an aft cabin and stuff in it, but I didn't like the layout of it. The Bayliner I like the way that was better, but yeah,
they're fun, but they always say just get friends that have boats, use theirs.
That's what they say. And my father has a 34 foot with like the fly bridge.
We'll use his
with the twin engines and stuff. But I don't care. Like I don't want to use it. He's like, anytime you want to use my boat, yeah, no, thank you. I don't care. I don't want to. Because if something happens to it, like what if I'm out in the water and you just get towed back or something? Plus, like it costs. He's got a 300 gallon tank on it and stuff, like fuel tank. I don't want to I don't want to. It's got like a 10-foot beam.
Yeah.
Nope, don't care. It's not fun anymore.
No.
And to be honest with you, that lake, Laura knows the lake I'm talking about. Every time like you go out there, there's somebody like drinking and like I'm like look at this guy. Like you could tell they're blitzed and like they come wicked close flying by you. It's just it's not fun.
Yeah, that's an idle lake. It's terrible.
Yeah, they wreck it for you.
That's why we always would go up to the river, but they're just as bad.
Yeah.
They're all drag racing, and you got to deal with. It's an international, it's Alex Bay, the St. Lawrence River. So you've got to worry about ships coming through and people chicken with the ships and all that. Oh, I'd have a stroke. I said, no, I've had enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and then no matter how slow you go through,
you see these giant ships come through. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's neat.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Yep. What about you, Susan? What do you got going on these days? Anything with the channel?
God, we took a dramatic change here from boats to channel.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like we're neglecting you.
You kind of got me off guard here. I thought you was going to ask me something like, do I get seasick? Or
I should ask you that, shouldn't I? Well, you are near the water. Let me ask you that. Do you like lobster?
I like shellfish. I get seasick, particularly on the whale watches. I do get seasick there, but it's weird. It's like on small boats and bigger boats, I don't get seasick. It's just like when it's like completely out in the ocean, that's when I get seasick. Yeah. So
my wife and I, our honeymoon was on Nantucket. We went out to Nantucket, and I say that only because I know you're in Mass. I know you're not like out on the Cape or anything like that, but that's where we went. And we didn't stay out there, but we stayed off. We were like in Falmouth and stuff, so and like at Dennisport and stuff like that. But like once a year when I was younger, every year we'd go to the Cape. When I was
nice.
That was our go-to. The Cape was. Man, loved it there.
Yeah, beautiful.
The Cape is beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
What are you? You're well. You're Central Mass, right?
Yeah. So I'm not too far from there.
Springfield.
No, I'm in Acton, Mass.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep.
Not
Yeah,
too
that's
far
cool.
from there. Yeah. But no, nothing really new is going on with me. I do, now that the weather's getting warmer, I do want to go out and start filming and investigating.
Yeah,
I
and it's
do.
probably hard for you too because your hours, and then, that's another reason why, excuse me, I took a step back from the live show because, you're doing this right now, then your
Mhm.
sleep hours. I mean, when you're done, it's already what 4:30. You're getting tired. You don't really have a
Mhm.
lot of time to. I don't know what your Sundays look like, but then it's back to work, right?
Yeah,
Feel better,
basically.
So,
Goth Gal. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, feel
oh
better.
yeah, Goth Gal, I can feel for you because I suffer from migraines too. I take sumatriptan and I take medication for mine, so I hope you feel better. She probably got a headache from me talking.
Shut up, Bill, man. Just be.
I know, I'm always hijacking these lives.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what it is.
So-
Yeah, she's got the tight schedule. You and I got to deal with rain. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's spring. It'll end soon. But I mean, when you're itching to get out there and get something, and the weather just does not cooperate. It's supposed to rain all week here.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I am free during the week though. Like I know like Michael asked me to be on his podcast next Friday. So ideally like Fridays, Saturdays is the best times for me, but I can jump on like around 4:30 or so if somebody wants me to during the week. It's just I don't know how late I'll stay up to, but I am free. I think my schedule's getting a little bit easier now, so
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah, how's it going?
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, I was supposed to have somebody on this week, and they canceled on me this afternoon. So now,
again,
I got to come
so
up.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, again, this person canceled on me. I just go on by myself and pick my nose. I don't know. I'll just grab something.
Wait, the same one canceled again?
Yeah. Hi, Gingy. How are you?
Hi, Gingy.
You gotta be kidding.
Something come up, and she had to take the opportunity and do it. So I said, "Well, I'm pretty much booked actually for the rest of the month, so you're gonna have to wait till June."
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this, because I asked the wifey, and she said she talked to her Friday and said she was very excited, and she said, I said to her, "Oh, it was Wednesday." She goes, "Oh, I thought it was going to be Tuesday," and
Yeah,
Michelle
Tuesday.
Said,
yeah, because that's the day she had open was Tuesday. Hey, Lisa, how's it going?
And then Michelle goes, "Oh, I thought it was going to be Wednesday." She goes, "Oh, well, I better go check." So hopefully that didn't make her think it was supposed to be for Wednesday.
No. She set it up for Tuesday because she said Wednesdays were inconvenient. So I switched it to Tuesday, and apparently some kind of event come up, and she has to be there apparently. Okay. So I said, okay, not a problem, but you're gonna have to wait till June now because the rest of the month is booked up. So hey, Sky, how's it going?
Hi, Sky. Welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So I said, okay, so now I'm just gonna freelance it, I guess, on Wednesday.
Jeez.
John Boy, hello.
Hi, John Boy. Welcome.
Hello,
I'll come
everyone.
up with something or drag somebody in at some point.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Luckily, we're pretty booked up until the end of June, I think. Yeah.
So my May is filled up.
Cool. Yeah.
Athena's doing good, Lisa.
Steph is in Mass, right?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, so she's driving in a thunderstorm. She probably is getting hit with we just went through that. So she's getting what we just went through. So
I mean it's cloudy here, but it's okay right now.
I'm gonna say, Susan, you might be getting that pretty soon.
You may be getting some rain.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got it earlier this morning too. A little bit of a drizzle.
Right, so they're drizzling. It's been raining here pretty much all day.
And yesterday too. It started like last night.
Yesterday was horrible. It was all night. It was
yeah. Yep.
And it's funny because I never think like because we're not. I mean, we're far away from each other, but not that great of a distance. So I'm always like, oh, it's sunny today. It must be sunny over there.
Yeah. But it's just like, if it is, I think it's just a matter of like about 3 or 4 hours before we get the same result weather, you know? So
right. Yeah. We can have all 4 seasons in one day here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
That's normal for us.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Absolutely.
You know, it's hot, you got the fans going or the air conditioner's on. Then the next thing you know, it's pouring outside. And then by the evening time comes, you got to put the parka on because you're freezing your ass off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bipolar weather.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, Octoman, how's it going?
Hi, Octoman.
Let's see. Sarah says, warm, sunny spring weather at long last here in England. Oh, cool.
Lovely. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think we're getting English weather. Because usually
it's
damp and rainy.
London town. Yeah. I don't know if I said hello to John Boy and Sarah. I don't know if I said hello. And also Octoman.
Yeah. John Boy said, that it was winter in the morning here in England and then summer by lunchtime. See?
Wow.
That's the same stuff we deal with.
Yeah, dude. Same here. Yep. That's central New York is like that. We have messed up weather.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I remember watching what's his name's channel? Noah Faraday's.
Yeah.
And he would do lives in his car. This was during the winter, and we'd have like 3 feet of snow. And looking out his windows, and I'd see him, and he'd be in a parking lot or something. And this was like toward the end of the winter, but there'd be like nothing in the parking lot, and you could see there was no snow there in mass. But he's near like King of Prussia in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is southeast. So.
Yeah, we had nailed that this winter.
Yeah, we did.
We haven't had that much snow here in about 10, 15 years.
See, we didn't get that much snow.
Oh, we got hammered.
Yeah, we did get a lot.
We got hammered.
Still not as much as
Bill was texting me crying.
You were crying.
Sky. Snowa Faraday. That's right. Yeah. Hey, Wayne, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, around here we get to the right to the edge where we've just reached the end of our rope, and
yeah,
it's like, oh, please, not again, right?
I don't like snow.
I used to love snow. I hate it now.
Same here. I'd be out for hours, just ice skating or whatever, and now I don't even go outside.
No, especially when you got to plow it with a 4-wheeler.
Yeah, no, I ain't doing it. Well, at least you got a 4-wheeler.
Octoman has pythons. I absolutely love reptiles.
Snakes.
Love them.
Why did it have to be snakes?
I love reptiles.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great as long as they stay outside.
Thank you.
That's nice.
No, nothing really special, Lisa. Just probably hanging out with my mother for a little bit. Actually, my mother threw me for a loop last night, guys, because I was watching her while my dad went shopping. And most of you know that my mother suffers from advanced dementia. And she actually had a conversation with me, guys.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
I almost shit myself. I was talking to her, and I said, well, don't you think it's time for bed, Mom? She goes, yeah, I'm kind of tired. I'm like, whoa. And every time I'd ask her something, she gave me a full paragraph response. That hasn't happened in years.
Wow.
So it just blew me away. I was, oh, geez. So she still has her moments.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the time, it's just, I'm done. You hear that all day long. I'm done or later. So, yeah, after, you got to shut the hearing off because otherwise it drives you crazy. But even though she doesn't know what's going on, she still gets flowers on Mother's Day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because everybody goes, why bother? She doesn't know. I said, well, because she's my mother. So, I mean, it still counts, even though she doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's an amazing, it's kind of scary at the same time because my mother was definitely a very dominant person in my life, because she grew up like her stepfather was in the military as well. He was a captain. So, it was very hard to grow up with her because of her being so dominant. And then within like the past like 2 or 3 years, she's been like going downhill with the dementia. And now it's like I can't even
fast.
I can't have a conversation with her.
Right. Yeah. Well, my mother doesn't even know who we are. That part hurts pretty bad. Yeah, she doesn't know who we are.
Yeah, mine isn't to that point yet.
Yeah, doesn't know who we are. Like I said, she says, like I said, about 5 things you generally, and it's usually, the most of it is I'm done, I'm done. She says that as she's pacing back and forth through the house from the kitchen to the front window. That's what she does all day long. And then, she eats like a horse, but she is skinny as a twig. It's funny how the brain controls the body. It's rough.
Now, is there any medication?
She does take something, but that's supposed to slow it down. It's full of shit, guys. It don't slow nothing down.
Okay.
Because she paces like a caged animal. In the beginning, it was driving me insane, but then you get used to it. That's the thing. Just let them do it. I don't know if she thinks she's going somewhere. I don't know. She never really says. Like I said, because usually it's just those couple of things. I'm done or later. So I always tease her. I say, "You gonna go get a job today? Later." I'll say all kinds of things to her, and then or in the mornings when because I go downstairs because they live downstairs from me, because I take care of both of my parents, and so when I take the dog out in the morning, I go downstairs to check on them. And they'll be in the kitchen, and she doesn't see me. And I open the door, and I go, booga, booga, booga. And she goes, what? Like this. And my father goes, someday she might repeat that. I go, well, that would be a hell of a lot funnier than I'm done. Because then at least we could laugh,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is always the same thing.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And the medication doesn't do anything. I know they've gotten... as far as following with the medical field, there's more advances now than from when my mother was diagnosed 7 years ago. But it's not going to help her any. So hopefully the stuff that they're coming up with now will help further generations, because they call it the slow death for a reason, because that's what she's doing. Her brain is dying slowly, and it just gets to the point where they just go to sleep. But she's still healthy enough where she doesn't need to be in a nursing home or facility. I mean, it would be easier on us because we have to do everything for her. But I couldn't do that because it's my mother. I don't want somebody abusing my mother. So that's my daily, burden, and I take it on because, my mother.
Yeah.
And it's just something you got to deal with. Like I said, the hardest part was when she stopped recognizing who we were. That's you got to put a wall up, because it's it's painful when your mother or your father doesn't know who you are.
Exactly.
They just look at you like, with that blank look on the face.
Laura, does that happen every day? Do you have to? Are you a stranger to her every day, or does?
Oh yeah, she just knows that I'm the one that has to give her a bath and feed her and gets her dressed. I'm just the person that's here. But as far as any relations, she has no idea who any of us are.
You said that she knows your dad.
She knows that she belongs to him because she follows him everywhere. If he room to room, she'll follow him. But as far as who is that, Mom? It's just she doesn't really say anything unless I say, "Is that your husband?" And then she'll yes. And then, we have to prompt her, and then she'll say it, and then say his name. But otherwise, she has no clue at all. And it's just, it is what it is. At some point, it will get to the be where she will be able to swallow on her own because the brain won't tell her her body how to do it. That's when there might be an issue and she'll have to go to a facility because it'll have to be with a feeding tube. And I just don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
There's just, I have no experience in that. I have, I don't think it's something I could do. Kiwi said, my dad's brain was the same. His body refused to die. Yeah, they could live for years this way.
Yeah.
But it happens so damn fast.
It does.
And there was no history of it in the family, so we don't know where the hell it came from.
No.
And now I'm finding out that my mother's older sister and her younger brother are getting it as well.
Wow.
So then they say it also skips a generation. So they have it, but maybe my sister and I will be skipped. I got to worry about my son and his kids having it. I already told my husband, I said, if I end up getting it, just put me in the home because I know he can't handle it.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Kiwi and Sarah.
Yes, Sarah, it's dementia.
Parkinson's. Yeah.
I felt loss of my mother long before. Yes, because people will say that to me. They'll go, about your mom and this and how do you feel about it? I go, well, to be honest with you, my mother died 7 years ago. Now I'm taking care of a child. She's like a 2-year-old child.
Yeah. I worked in a nursing home.
Yeah, my mother's been gone a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard because how many times you'd like to be able to speak with your parents, and you can't because there's just no understanding.
I should probably tell that nursing home story. Since this is like Susan's show and where this is sort of like I could tell I know it's an open mic, but I could tell like a paranormal story actually.
Okay.
Let's see what Sky said. Did anyone see Casper Sight's video today? I'm not a fan, but he lost his mom yesterday. Oh, that's a shame. No, I did not see that.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I don't know who that is, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Wow. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, now that I gave everybody the, Debbie Downer stuff.
That's all right, Laura. No,
that's why everybody wonders why I'm so busy. I'm busy with mom and dad during the day. Then I have to book people for shows. Then I have to do stuff for the magazine. So I'm really tired.
So your story, Bill.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just reading everybody. I wanted to make sure because I know it's important to get recognition in chat. But anyway, sorry guys. Steph, I'm reading what you said, Sarah. Let me know, guys, if when I'm telling this story, if you need to interrupt me, if somebody says something important in chat, just interrupt me and say, Bill, let me read this, okay?
All right.
Okay. So I worked at a nursing home for roughly 6 months in between like my real career, which was dental technician forever. So I became pretty attached to this one lady. She was very nice. Her name was Celeste, and this little Italian woman, very sweet. And of course, being new to the field, I didn't know much about like postmortem and mortality and things like that when they pass, when these old folks pass. Now there was picture this a plus symbol from an aerial view. That's the way this building was built. These wings were like elm, birch, and things like that. That's the way these wings were named. And these certain wings were like the Alzheimer. One was like for individuals that had falls and they broke like a hip and they were like on the mend and then they were going to go home. But most in these other 3 wings, they were like there permanently. So the wings that I really worked on, they were there permanently. This other one, it's like assisted, then they were in assisted living. But these ones that I was working on in particular, they were there. They didn't have like They weren't like the Alzheimer's or anything, but they were old age. And so this one woman, so these people are there. This is the end of their time for these people. So this one woman, she had a roommate, but you know, her bed's over here, and the other roommate, her bed's way over here. But her bed is against the wall, and the window is against the wall too. Now this is during the winter, and it's in a snowstorm, and it's probably 25 degrees outside Fahrenheit. And so she was struggling to breathe, and she was just very antsy. She was just gasping for air. She's, I don't know, probably 90 years old. And I'm trying to do my job, and my job at that time, it was not, I worked the night shift, and it was time for her. I worked 3 to 11. And I think 10 o'clock rolls around, and everybody, 9 or 10, everybody's to be put to bed, you know, get everybody dressed, nightgowns and things like that, and lights out and stuff like that. So I'm doing my thing, get them ready and get their beds stuff, and they get covers on them and stuff. And she's very antsy and saying things like, I'm hot. Okay, take the covers off. She's, oh, wait, no, I'm cold. So I put the blankets back on. This was like, I think this was like 2001. So forgive me if I have to sort of like go, wait, you know, let me back up. So this was a while ago. All right, so she says, oh, I'm hot, I'm cold. So I'm getting a little frustrated because now I've got 15 people I have to do this with. I have to put to bed and get them dressed, and like some of them I have to give showers and baths to, all within, you know, my 8-hour shift. And then these charge nurses, they're like, hurry up. They sit at a nurse's station, and you know, if you don't get your job done, you get sort of ringed out, and you got to get these people done. So she's sort of taking my time up, and I'm like, okay, Celeste, what do you need? Wait, what? And all the individual, these people really liked me. All the these old folk really liked me, and they were like, so I was like, Celeste, all right, I had to go, honey, I gotta go. And she go, open the window. And I go, open the window? I'm like, it's like 25 degrees. It's snowing out. It was snowing out.
Right.
So, okay, look, I'll open the window, but I can't leave it open. So I open up the window, and I remember opening it, and like puffy snowflakes were like flying into the room. And when I opened up the window, I was like, there. She like died. She like went. Now she's in her bed. I'm sitting up, but like she like just. She like took her last breath, and I was like, what? Celeste. So now I'm like new to this job. So all my training goes out the window. Like to pull the blue cord that's on the wall, we have these rip cords to pull the things so that the nurse who knows like the RN, because I'm just a CPA, you know, certified CNA, excuse me. So the nurse that like should come in and like take over and like tell me to move so she can do CPR, or she has like a DN, do not resuscitate.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure she does or doesn't, but she has a thing on her wrist that says whether or not, but all that goes out the window because I'm freaking out. So I don't know what to do.
Exactly.
I'm like, so I run over to her, and I go, and I shake her. I'm like, Celeste. I'm shaking her. Like I'm a certified nurse's aide, but I'm shaking her like this is the movies or something.
Oh, it freaks out.
Yeah, dude. She springs back to life. I was like on the job for like a couple weeks. She like springs back to life. I like shook the life back into her, and she like sucks a breath in. And, you know, it was probably like 10 seconds of this. And she springs back to life. And I was like, oh, are you okay? What happened? She goes, oh, close the window. So I was like, okay. So I went over, I closed the window. I get her all situated. She seems to be fine now. So, wow, I've heard that about opening windows for dying. Okay, who said this? Incredible Octoman. Okay, we're going to get to that. That's the whole point of my story, sir. That's what we're going to get to. All right. So I go to my buddy Mike. Now, he's been there for like 10 years. This dude, Mike, super cool dude. He's a CNA as well. Bald head, big dude. He's like, I don't know, you'd see him like, if he was in a movie, like he'd be like the nurse in the movie that's like takes the mental patient that needs a good whooping.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He's like the bald dude that's like, you better knock it off.
Yeah, he's like the bouncer of the ward.
Yes, but a super sweetheart. Super sweetheart. Like I like was tootling underneath him. He's super sweet guy. So he's at the nurse's station filling out paperwork. He's like standing up, and it's just him there. And he's like filling out his paperwork, and he'd have to like write down like BP, blood pressures on people and stuff. And he's filling out, and I'm like traumatized by. I finished up my other people, right? So now I'm like in my head, I'm like thinking, what just happened here? I go to my other rounds that I got to do. And then I see Mike down at the charge station. So I'm like walking down. Now this is in the center of that giant plus. In the center is the nucleus of this whole operation. So I'm like, oh, there's Mike. I gotta like tell him what happened. I go down there like this, and he's like, he looks over and he's like, what's the matter with you? I'm like, dude, I think Celeste like just died. Just what? I go, yeah, but like then like they came like back to life. He goes, oh yeah, that happens sometimes. I'm like, it's just writing, you know.
It's like every day for him. Yeah.
Right. And he goes, and he's writing, and he goes, just make sure you open up the window. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, so that her spirit can leave. And he's like, right. And I go, dude, what the blank?
Right.
And I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, the hair on my arms is like, I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, so that her spirit can leave. And I was like, dude, let me tell you what happened. So I explained the whole thing that happened to me. And I said, and then she died. After I opened up the window, she like died. And then she sprang back to life. And then she made me close the window. And he goes, yeah, it happens all the time. So like, that's my story. Like, take it or leave it. But like, to me, I want to know, like, in Celeste's world, was she hovering over herself, seeing me, shaking her, and it wasn't like, hey, I was ready to leave, and you shook me back in, and like I saw you do that. So get this, there's a two-parter. That was amazing. So the next day, I work 3 to 11. So my shift ends. Next day I have to work. And again, like I said, in the nucleus of this place is in the center. And they, before you do your rounds and everything, they give you a whole idea of what's going on with, the people of the day. Like John Smith, he's got a UTI. Make sure you watch that. Jim Jones, make sure you clean out his catheter and all that stuff. So Molly, she's doing well. Celeste, expired. Whoa. Wait, what? What's the problem, Bill? Wait, Celeste Jones? And just on the whiteboard, it says expired.
Yeah.
She died overnight while I was gone. And they go, yeah, she died last night. They go, that's the nurses. Like, now listen, I know there's so now like there's thank God there's people like that are detached. Now I'm sure that I would have gotten that way and it wouldn't have bothered me, but I had just witnessed what happened and everything. But now she died
right
that night while I was home. And so now I knew that wasn't a fluke what happened to me. She was ready. So now I go, the nurse goes, Bill, we know that you were kind of, close with her. Do you want to go do her post-mortem? Which means, clean her and stuff. And I'm like,
right.
And then when they trained you that when that happens, your body releases everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, thank you. And I suppose if I wasn't close to her, maybe I would have. And there was a part of me that was like thinking, maybe you should. Is this something that you think you should try to do?
Right.
And I just was like, I'm not ready to do this. This is a pit stop job right now for me. This is not, because I wanted to be an RN. That's really, and somebody was like, well, you should try to be a nurse's aide first before to see if you want to do it. Well, being an RN, this is not what you're going to be doing. Like,
right, exactly.
There's a lot of avenues to being an RN, and I wish I probably would have stayed with it. Getting all my prerequisites and stuff like that. So, anyway, all right, I knew they said the coroner was in there. I was like, okay, the coroner's in there, and I'm thinking, yeah, they should be wheeling her out, soon or whatever. Maybe that happened after, but anyways, I'm like, okay, so I'm in this wing that I have to do, and Celeste is down in her room, and I heard that the coroner and the medical examiner was going to be in there. And I'm thinking, all right, all I got to do is get past her room because I know that she's in there still. And so, all right, I'm walking down the hallway and I don't want to look in there. I don't want to see all this. And just as I'm like, I'm walking slow and I have to get to the end of the hallway because I'm going to start at the end and work my way this way to like do my people, get them showers and get them up out of bed and feed them and all that stuff. All right, walk past her room. All right, walk fast. So I start walking faster to like get past her room. Here comes her room. Just as I'm like starting to walk past her room, the coroner comes out right in front of me. Like I would have like T-boned because I'm walking quick and doing like a fast pace. I would have like T-boned right on the gurney, like with a body bag, like right in front of me.
Right.
Like, I mean, like just as I'm like walking out, comes wheeling out in the black like bag, like
the bag, yeah, something that you didn't want to see.
Yeah, like what, man? Like what the heck? Celeste, like what? Oh, and yeah, like and actually, before Celeste passed away, like she was in there for like only like a couple weeks or so. Like I actually signed power of attorney. I was witness for power of attorney over her too. Like I think that was for a DNR over her.
Right.
Which is a do not resuscitate. And she was a very sweet woman. And a lot of those people were, one of the guys that was there, they couldn't get the guy to eat. He was really mean and miserable. And when I first came on, they were like, oh, here, let's give Stan to Bill. And they're like laughing. I'm like, what? And they're like, you'll find out. Well, I came out with the tray empty, all of his food. And they're like, you got him to eat? I was like, yeah. And they like couldn't believe it. Because like they all
being kind. A lot of those people are very rough and mean.
Because their sensitivity went away. Because they all liked it.
Yeah. Yep.
And
the job is very stressful. You do become hardened, but you got to remember they're still human beings.
Yeah. And
they need to be treated that way.
So like I remember with that guy, I told him I wasn't leaving until he finished it. So I'm not leaving until you're finished.
There you go.
I said,
I'm gonna stand here and stare at you.
I said, so if you like me, I'll hang out with you. But if you don't like me, I'm not leaving until it's gone. And then the thorn in my side was they gave that guy to me every single time. And I was kind of afraid of him because he was really mean and scary. Even though he was an old dude, he was a big dude and he was mean.
Yeah.
But it worked out. He sort of ignored me and finished his food. So
there you go.
I think he might have been a little afraid of me or something, but I was still nice to him. I was just, hi, how you doing? And so,
well, you're not a small guy either, so maybe he just saw you as an equal.
it could have been, but I was still nice to the guy and just said hello to him.
That's what counts.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, there's a lot of those guys, those older guys that don't like women. And that could have been it too. I'm not saying that was. I'm just saying that those were all girls, and maybe they were like, "Give it to Bill," and maybe that's what it was. Some of those guys just don't like ladies or something. That could have been it.
I mean, not for nothing. You got to think about it. They got to give them a bath. They've got to do these personal things. A lot of men don't want strange women doing that, especially at that age.
Yeah,
at that age,
there's a dignity thing. It could have been a dignity.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So all I know is he finished his food for me, and I did it there was I think I was on with 3 weeks on that side, and then they switched me to that side that I went on. So, but
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, that's pretty cool. You're right. Maybe she did see herself,
Mhm.
hovering above, and she
well,
seen
because
that you were freaking out, and she figured, oh, I better go back and calm him down.
somebody said that. You know what? That's funny, Laura. Somebody, I think when I said this on your show,
Yeah.
I've gone on this on your show, and somebody said they saw me freaking out. She saw me freaking out and didn't want to alarm me.
Right.
And yeah, that's a good
Come back
point.
to quiet you down. Yep.
Yes, didn't want to uh what's I don't know, panic me or whatever it was. Yeah,
Yeah. She's probably thinking, oh, that poor dear. Let me go back.
I think yes. That yeah, I forgot who said that.
Make him feel better.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, and Steph said that she's seen too many of those black widows. So Steph must be in the medical field.
I don't know. I never asked her. But yeah, that's
Must.
you do. You put up a wall. My sister-in-law
Mhm.
was a registered nurse. She started her nursing career out in the cancer ward of their local hospital, and
Oh, geez.
she would come home crying every day.
Yeah.
And she couldn't take that. So then when she switched over to a nursing home, she was still having those issues because you become attached to those people like they're your grandparents.
Mhm.
So she
Right.
realized that she had to put up a wall and become hard. She still treated them with tenderness, but there's a point where you just got to cut it off because they're not going home.
Yeah.
You have to accept that.
This is gonna sound odd, but there's a part of me that, when my mom passed, she passed away at, my family home that I grew up. And the guys that came to get her were from the funeral home because
Right.
my mother was battling cancer, and it was time. And so we basically, there was like no coroner or anything. Like they called the funeral home, and these two guys came, like dressed in like their tuxedos or whatever, their nice clothing and stuff, and they did their job very professionally. And I there was a part of me that said, I think I could do that job. I know that's kind of weird, but the reason why I say that is because when you're down and out on that side of it, when you lose a loved one, it was the way those guys treated us.
Yeah.
Losing my mother.
They're very good at it.
Yeah. And I felt like I could do that for somebody. To ease the burden. I felt like I could do that. Not that I want to, but I felt like, how does that make sense? Like, I felt like I can,
Yeah.
I would be able to handle that for someone, because now that
Right.
I've seen it and feel what it felt like, I felt like I thanked those guys for being gentlemen, and they came in like suits.
Yeah.
And
They take care of everything.
Yeah, and the nice hearse, the nice car, that like everything
Yeah.
was very nice, and we expected it. It's not like it was a surprise. We expected it. Now this part's come. We expect this part, and
Bye,
thank
Wayne.
you. Yes, Sarah, the utmost respect. And those guys they're very, just their demeanor, not like heads down or anything, but just. And I thought, you know what, my personality can be switched that way too, and I could probably handle that for somebody, because you need that. It's like a cop that has to go to the door and tell somebody about a loved one that might, I don't know.
Yeah, that had passed or something. Yeah, it takes a certain kind of people to do that kind of work, because everybody around you is upset, and and they don't know what they're doing. Especially if it's like their first time, dealing with something like that and a loss, and they haven't gone through, the steps, the final steps. These people are fantastic because they take care of everything.
Yeah, I often thought like of actually going to the local funeral parlor and asking if they needed help for greetings at the to actually help with the funeral.
Oh yeah, they can always use extra people. It's
like actually doing, because So we went to a funeral like last year, and my on my wife's side walked in, and the guy standing there, he like didn't even greet us. Like, and I said, we walked into the church, and I said to my wife, I go, and I purposely did this. I go, are we supposed to go this way? She goes, I don't know. I guess so. And the guy still didn't answer him. Like, he didn't say, yes, folks, it's through there.
Yeah, that's his job to tell you where to go.
No crap. And I'm like, what a dink. Like, what? How about, hello, folks. It's right through there.
Right.
I mean, that's your job, numbnuts.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
So that was another part of me that was like, so this is my my wife's brother-in-law's mother that passed away. But you don't know who I am. Like, you don't know how close this woman is to me. It doesn't matter anyway. Like, your job, you're getting paid by the funeral home and the family to go,
to direct
hi,
people.
folks.
Yep.
Hi, folks. Through here.
Yeah.
And I walked in. You know what? He didn't even make eye contact with us. He kept like looking through the glass doors that we walked through. Like, it was like we were transparent. He was like looking through us. And I was like, this is very odd. So I purposely like looked at my wife and went, are we supposed to? And I do crap like that all the time. We're supposed to go through there. And I had been to that church before. I knew we were supposed to go, but I did it on purpose to see what he would say.
Yeah.
I go, are we supposed to go through there? She goes, I don't know. I guess so. And he still didn't say anything. I mean, what? And this wasn't like a young kid. This wasn't a young kid. He was like my age. He's like a seasoned. So that like, I'm like, man, I should like, not that I've been working for that place, but I should go down into like the local city and just, hi.
Yeah, why not? See what they say.
I was thinking about it, like just firing off an email and saying about my experiences, and here's what I can offer.
Right.
You're looking for help.
I'm sure they could use the help. I mean, they always need some kind of help, especially if it's a larger funeral. You need a bunch of people. Yeah,
even driving too. Like,
right.
I'd be willing, and
even if you were just there handing out tissues, they take it. It's
So
they're very special people that do that.
Me,
I'd be crying all the time.
I can look sad. I mean,
it would be terrible. I'd feel so bad. I would just be just a big ball of tears. So I just
because well, it's the same for me because I have I was a veterinary technician for years before I went to a different field, and the hardest part was having to put their loved ones to sleep right in front of them. Hardest part ever. Hardest part. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be awful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My buddy, he's since passed. He's old, about 20, 30 years older than me. Also, actually, my mechanic mentor guy is who I'm talking about. Everything like that I pretty much learned about mechanics and stuff, he taught me. But he always had Great Danes, and he actually had one put down, and we live out in the country. So anytime he'd really have anything done, he'd have his vet come to him on his property. So when it was time for his dog Thor to be put down, he had his buddy with his backhoe dig a hole, and then the vet came out and inject him right there on his property, and then they did the grave right there at his house, and because he's so big.
Yeah.
I mean, he's huge, massive. So he did it right there. He actually had the vet come over to his house and inject him right there at his house instead of going somewhere.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Julie.
Julie was here.
I didn't see her. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Julie.
Yeah. I'd see a friend of mine. So a friend of mine, she texted me the other day. She goes, "Hey, what happened to your podcast?" And I said, I'm taking a break for a little bit. She goes, oh, I haven't seen them. I'm like, I didn't even know you've been watching. And
a lot of people lurk. That's okay.
Yeah. And she goes, I said, I won't know you're there unless you say hi in the chat. She goes, oh, that makes sense. She goes, I don't know how it works. I said, yeah, I'll see the numbers. I'll see like if people, because I use OBS, I'll see like if how many people are watching.
Right.
And but I won't know who's there unless you say something in the chat. She goes, oh. I go, so don't take it personal if I don't say hi Berta, She goes, oh, that makes sense now. And I'm like, oh, all these times she was thinking like I was dissing her, it makes me feel bad.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't know how it works.
Yeah, and she's kind of one of them, but she's cool. She's wicked cool.
That's why I always tell if anybody that I have friends that don't get on YouTube, I says, well, you got to click in the little box there.
Yeah.
And let me know that you're there. Otherwise, you might be watching, but I won't see it.
Let's see. Steph says I sob when I put my a mask down.
She met animals.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's rough. It is rough when you have to have your animals put down. It's.
It is.
But then it's if they're suffering, and I mean really suffering, then do them a courtesy and do it. We prolong it because for us, for our feelings, and always forget about the animal and the pain that they're in. Say Russ, Russ.
Yeah.
His before he got married to Joanne, her dog was in pain. He had to carry the dog out to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Carry it back in the house. It couldn't get around. And I said, Russ, I go, why are you guys being so selfish? Well, what do you mean? I said, you're being selfish. I understand you love the animal. It's your baby, but that baby is suffering. And if you have the opportunity to end the suffering, you need to do it.
I got a freaky story for you. This is, I don't know, like this is another take it or leave it. By the way, Ryan, hello. I did say hi. I don't know. But anyways, this is dub this the way you want it. This is a really weird story. So I had a Siberian Husky. His name is Doyle, after the family name on our Irish side. So beautiful white with blue eyes. Loved him. He's so cute. He's a big sweetheart. He was one of those that when you'd go, what are you doing? You'd go, arr, 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 and he'd talk to you. That's what Huskies are like known for.
Yeah. Yeah. They give you a lip.
I go, yeah. And I'd go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Arr, 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 don't you do that? You keep doing it. It was so cute.
You're talking trash.
So, Huskies, well, at least like probably 8 to 12 years are all they're good for. And he started getting around like 8 years old. He started getting bad. And we live like in an A-frame house, and we have stairs we got to go up and down and stuff. And of course, Huskies like to be outside, and we didn't really want them outside because we don't like them getting fleas and ticks and bringing them in the house. So we want them in the house a lot, but we don't let them run either. So we put them on a chain because we don't want them. We love our animals. We don't want them to run away and stuff and getting hit by a car. And there's leash laws, and so we have this chain up to the tree and everything, and so his back hips started getting really bad. And then he started getting, it wasn't like mange, but he would just always start to smell bad no matter how much we like wash him and stuff. And he had like a skin condition and stuff.
It's a thyroid condition.
Yeah. And his rear hips were really bad to the point where like he'd walk and he'd almost collapse. And he started going to the bathroom in the house, not being able to hold it. So I had picked him up and I had taken him down the stairs because he couldn't go down the stairs on his own. And I hooked him up to the chain outside. And I came upstairs and I said to my wife, I go, I don't know, honey, he's getting pretty bad. I think we're going to have to do something. And she goes, yeah. And I said, yeah. So I waited, like, this was during winter. No, it was fall or something like that. I remember. I could, because I'm going to visually tell you why I'm saying that, because I can visually see something.
Right.
Because I remember seeing short grass and leaves and stuff. Like, dead leaves. And she's like, so I waited like a couple hours, usually like let him stay out there for a couple hours. I go out and I'm thinking, okay, now it's time to bring him back in. I go out and he's gone. His chain was rolled up, like spiraled up, like somebody took him. Like, well, we live on the country and we have like a long driveway and stuff. Nobody took him.
Right.
It was like he took his chain off of his. He had like a harness, not like a neck one. It was like it went around him because again, we loved our animals, so we didn't want to choke him. It was like he unclipped it from the back of him and like coiled it up and put the little thing and like left. He was complete. He was completely gone.
Wow.
Just gone. The thing wasn't broken. The lead and the latch was still on. The chain, like if it would have broke, it would have been gone and off of him. Plus he was so weak. It was freaking coiled up. Like somebody did it. Like they were like storing the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gone. We never saw him again.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I went out looking for him. I got in the car. I drove down the roads all over the place, looking in fields.
Just disappeared.
And for like months and months after that, I would always look in fields and stuff, expecting to see my dog running
or at least find him. You know,
yeah.
If he passed, you'd find something. But
so now animals know when they like are gonna die,
mm-hmm.
and they go off and they die.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
They say that the Indians did that. They go off and they go and die. Like now that's one thing that he knew, that he was gonna go off and die and lay down and die. But the odd part is, what the heck? How did that happen? Like, how?
Yeah, that's strange.
Now, if we're gonna like debunk this, well, I could have not clipped it all the way on his. First of all, I know I did. Been doing it for 10 years with this animal. But also it being rolled up as if somebody did that, and nobody would have taken a 10-year-old decrepit dog. Nobody would say, I want that dog. He was neutered. I'll say. Like, it's not like
I'm sure nobody would have gotten next to him either. I mean, especially if he didn't know who they were.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He was very intimidating looking. They wouldn't have like approached him. Yeah. And I've never had closure about what happened to my dog. It was almost like he was like, oh, really? You're going to take me somewhere?
He took care of himself.
Yep.
Took care of himself. Yeah, that's an interesting story. It's
so I told my wife, I said, it's so odd that, this was like weeks later. I said, it's Dooley, that was my other dog. Doyle like did us a favor, and I if I could thank him, like he did us a favor because of like us not having to go through that. But it sucks that I don't know, but holy crap, that's crazy that I don't know what happened. But he was like, I'm gonna do you guys a solid.
Yeah, it's just gonna go off on my own.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm out in the woods, I like think, am I gonna find a skull?
Yeah.
I mean, the odds of that, because it's but it's crazy. Busload of tourists. No, Sky, you're not listening to me. You're just you're having her old in her head. There's just something going on.
Yeah. Don't you know now? I'm starting to hear the thunder.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Steph says,
hold on to your britches.
But when he came to me, he knew. I knew.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my buddy that I was telling you about with the Great Dane, his wife came out. She was always kind of a miserable lady because she was married to him, because he wasn't. He was kind of a miserable guy. But she came out of the house one day and she was like miserable, and I was like, "What's her problem?" He goes, "Oh, she found the cat. We couldn't find the cat for like a week, I was like, what? He goes, yeah, she was dead in the closet.
Oh, that's they usually do the dark, quiet place.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
oh,
what
poor
cats
thing.
do. But
I'm like,
they didn't smell it.
but I was like thinking, well, yeah, but how do you not like find the cat like after a freaking week? But I do have to say, like sometimes like I asked my wife, I'm like, have you seen Willow? I'm like, yeah, I've seen like sometimes I don't see my cat for like, well, it's like a day I don't see my cat. Not a friggin' week though. Maybe I could be exaggerating. Maybe it was a few days, but I don't know.
Say
To me, it
after
seemed
week,
like it was a
they
week.
smell something. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, let me say this, Laura. They probably didn't smell it because they had like 10 cats and it freaking stunk.
Oh, ew. Okay,
man.
Yeah, dude. It was
God.
when I'd walk in there, my eyes would
Ew.
freaking sting. It
Yeah.
Oh,
would
that's
sting.
disgusting.
Yuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
You know how like so us upstate people, us northeastern, you know how like when you go outside and it's so cold out, when you take a breath in, your body rejects it. It goes
Yeah.
well, when you'd go into his house and you take a breath in, that's what it was like.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't like hoarders. Like it was like there was nothing in there. It was, and I would say to Gene, he would always like complain. I'd go, like why like he'd complain about breathing and stuff, and I go, well, and I try to be nice about it and subtle. I'd go, well, you think maybe it's anything in the house or something? No. I was like, well, all right. I was like, well, maybe there's like black mold or something. I try to like
Right.
Maybe
it's all the cats in the dirty cat boxes there.
Yucky.
I would try to be so nice and kind about it. Like,
Oh,
I
man.
don't know, I was like, maybe like the litter boxes or something need to be cleaned out or something. Nope, those are done like religiously, like every day. And I'm thinking, no, they
ain't. Because they wouldn't have that smell.
Oh, so bad. Like
I know somebody has 6 cats. You go in her house, you'd never even know she had 1 cat. No odor, no hair, no nothing.
You'd never know we have a cat. And
yeah.
So when so our cat adopted us. She came to our front door and I was like, I'm like highly allergic to cats. And I'm like, I don't not like cats. It's because I'm allergic, I couldn't have a cat. And this poor cat was like in our window. This was like 5 years ago. So like our front door is made of glass, you know, and it was like getting rained on. It was the fall, winter was coming. And I felt so bad for this thing. It was skinny and runt like, and I was like, look at this poor thing out there. And I was like, meow. And so I was like, all right, well, maybe we'll just put like some food out there for it. And then it was like ball doing that loafing thing out there, you know, they loaf. And it was on the deck and it was like raining on it. And like, I figured, okay, it'll go away, you know? And then like in the morning it would be out there and it was cold and it was like October.
Right.
It was like raining on it. And I felt so bad. And like, I'd be like going to go into the house and it would try to like get in. I was like, no, you can't go in. And like, I'd shut the door and then it would be like, it'd be like nighttime.
There's this little kitty face up to the window.
It'd be nighttime. And I'd be like, I'd see like I'd see like a silhouette or something. Like, and I'd flick the light on and it would be like staring at us through the window. I was like,
let me in.
So then my kids would be like, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, I don't care. We're not having a cat. We're not. I'm like, when I look at a cat, my eyes itch. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe we'll keep it in the basement. So we start putting it in the basement, right? So then it starts clawing at the door to the upstairs. I'm like, all right, well, maybe we'll just let it upstairs once in a while. Well, of course, now it's lives on our bed and stuff. And
Bill, you old softy, you.
But now, my allergies don't bother me.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And I love the stinking thing. You know? And she's a brat, too. She's one of those cats where she'll let you pick her up for about 5 to 10 seconds. Then she's like, all right, put me down.
Yep, had enough love. Get off.
Because she's basically a feral cat. She grew up. She was born out in the woods, and she really doesn't. She's very content on all right, leave me alone. When we come home, she's like, hey, who's here? And she's like, oh, it's you guys. Hey, what's up? Pet me for a second, then I'm out of here. You know,
Fill the bowls on your way by.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So
That's so cute.
yeah.
So cute.
Oh, Julie's back. She says, I'm back. I had to leave because
Yeah.
talking about animals.
Yeah.
Well, I have Julie. Please just forgive me for a minute, but I have an unusual story as well. It starts out sad, but it ends up happy. So I had my cat Kitty that I had for about 9 years. She was a Bengal, and you know, she had her own attitude. You know, you could only pet me on my terms because she was a Bengal. She was very vocal. So I took her to the vet to get her distemper shot. And right afterwards, I noticed that she was limping on one of her legs. And I said, okay, maybe she's having a reaction to the vaccine. So I take her to the vet, and her leg was a little bit swollen. And she said they took an x-ray and everything seemed fine. She goes, well, maybe she's just having a slight reaction. You know, in the future, I wouldn't recommend her getting the distemper. And I said, fine. So she gotten better. But within like 2 weeks later, I noticed that she started drinking a lot of water, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. So she started drinking the water, and then she started losing the weight, and then she started not eating. And I was like, okay. So during this time, my son was sick and he was getting over a cold. So I said, well, maybe she's just, you know, caught a cold or something. So I brought them to the vet. And then they told me, they said, she is filled with fluid. And I go, what do you mean? And they go, she has lymphoma. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Within 3 days, she completely went downhill to the point that I had to put her to sleep. I mean, she dramatically, and we were getting to the point that when we knew she had lymphoma, we was like, okay, we're going to start with the cancer treatment. We're going to get on board with this. But we didn't even have time. We didn't even have time for this. But the good news is, this is the good part. So, you know, several months went by. You know, I've always been a cat person, and there was a part of me that wanted cats in the house again. So I was keeping in touch with an adoption agency, a shelter that's pretty local to me. And they kept on sending me pictures of 2 black kittens because I wanted 2 of them. And I really wanted a black kitten because I grew up with the black kitten. So I would look at them and I would be like, nope, this is not my kittens. No, this is not my kittens. So finally, I started clearing out Kitty's toys and everything. And I had a moment and I broke down, you know, I started crying and I said, you know, I really miss you, Kitty. I wish you were here, blah, blah. Within 20 minutes later, I get an email from the shelter and they said, here's a couple of kittens. Would you be interested? And I took one look at the little girl kitten. I was like, that's it. Those are my kittens. But this is the really weird thing. I didn't know that she had 2 other brothers. Okay. I go to the foster couple. There was a male cat that looked exactly like Kitty that I didn't even know was there. So I was like, are you kidding me? So we ended up getting him, and we ended up getting the sister, which is the black kitty. So yeah, I was like, it was meant to be for me to.
So now you have 2?
Yeah. So maybe
cool.
It was a sign from Kitty, but you know, it ended up being a really nice story. Sorry, Julie. But it ended up being a really nice story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
Mine's a Russian blue-haired nebulum.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah, she's really pretty with green. To me, I call them gold, but they're green eyes. Yeah, she's.
Wow. And she was a stray?
Yeah, she was like a feral. And when we first got her, she was. My wife used to give her baths because she was very weak, and scrawny, and she had
fleas. Did she have
tick
fleas?
bites all
Yeah.
over her. She had like a plucked, like if you would have taken her, it would have been like chicken pox looking things
Yeah.
all over her. She was so
Aw.
bit up. She was so bad. And
Yeah.
now, like, I mean, we put those Nesta collars on her and stuff. And actually I give her the injections. We go to the TSC, and I give our pets the injections that we're supposed to.
See, Storm wants to go out on his harness and leash, but I'm so afraid of all the flea and tick products out there.
Yeah. Yep.
I use one that I actually found at Walmart. It's an all natural based one.
Yep.
You can spray it on your furniture, on yourself, on them, and they can eat it, and it don't bother them at all, and it works really well.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll have to send you the link, Susan.
Yes.
It's like $6 a can, and I spray it all over my dog before we go out anywhere, and she never has any fleas.
And they can lick it and everything?
They can eat it. It's all natural.
This one that, see, my wife's in all like the, like, not, I don't want to say holistic, but like she researches, she is like super into like the natural stuff. So this the collars that she gets to, like, they're like wicked expensive, like $40 a piece for these stupid little collars, and they last a year. But she doesn't put any of like the garbage stuff on our pets. So like so they're really good for the animals, and so we got good luck with those ones. There's one called Harmony you can get online by Sniper. Okay, yeah. But anyways, I do the injections for like their things that they're supposed to have. I do them. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I'm just hearing horror stories about, especially, I'm afraid that if you put, the one that you put in the shoulder blades, I'm always afraid that they'll lick each, because they always lick each other.
Because I said something about that. I said something about to my wife. She goes, "Nope, you're not supposed to use that one." I was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that."
I just don't.
Because we had two cats. Buddy was his name. He was half ragdoll cat. I used that shit on his shoulder blades. It killed him.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. It's bad.
It was horrible. He went into convulsions, and that was awful. And he ended up with kidney failure because of it.
Oh no.
Yeah, our little buddy.
Hmm.
So from that day on, I said I'll never use anything on my pets.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing is ticks are really bad around here in the summer, so I want to protect them against something, but I'm really hesitant as well, Yeah,
I'll send you that link. It's really, like I said, you could spray it on yourself. And they tell you, like, if the dog, you don't spray it in their faces.
Yeah.
If you still, like with the dog, if we've got like a handkerchief or something tied around her neck, you spray that, and it protects the neck and face area.
So I could spray it on like their harness.
Yeah.
And not actually on
them. You can spray it all over their body, because I spray it all over the dog.
Okay.
And then I also spray it all over in the house, during that time of year. So just in case something does get in, it's going to get them. It's great stuff. I haven't had a problem with it ever.
If you're hungry, you can spray it on a cracker.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. And then there's also all kinds of natural ways to take care of that as well.
Yeah.
I'd have to get hold of my aunt. She's the one that does all that natural stuff. She's the one that they're the ones that breed the dogs. And everything is all natural and holistic. And
I'm just concerned because they constantly get in like wrestling matches and licking each other too. So
like with the dogs, we always rub them down with the coconut oil. It's good for their skin. It's good for their fur, and it also helps repel ticks and fleas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
You're giving them a massage with coconut oil. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, like it's black fly season. Man, they're just all over right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they're wicked.
They're bad. Yeah.
Hate black flies.
Sucks. You can't even be outside right now.
No, they tear you up. The dinner bell is wrong.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ay. Ooh, we've been on a 2 hours and a half, guys.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna have to pretty much call it. My husband's starving and he's banging at the door.
So, Bill, when are you going to be back up and running?
Good question. Let me see. I don't know. Like, I got to get that truck. I'm working on a truck right now. I'm got the bed sort of halfway done and put that on. I I don't know. Let's say a month. I want to shoot for like a month, and then I'm gonna do like maybe 7:30 again on Saturdays. I think that's everybody's kind of used to maybe me doing Saturday nights at 7:30, and hopefully get my co-host back with me. He's a certified mechanic.
Dennis, yeah.
Yeah, Dennis. So, but if he doesn't, I'll still do it. But I think
Yep.
I think he'll when he can, he'll be back on board.
Yep.
His wife,
do it.
his wife is expecting in September. I did ask him if that's
Yes.
going to change things, and he said heck no. He said double hockey sticks no. So we'll see.
I think he enjoyed it just as much as we did. So and
He
we
did.
Yeah.
You guys
he
have great
enjoyed it. He enjoyed
banter,
it.
so it's great.
I thought so
Mhm.
too, and I think it made it better too. So, and I have to on OBS. It's just sheer laziness, to be honest with you, to get where I could share and get a screen share with a guest on. So get you on, Laura, and even you on,
So
Susan.
we
and
can
stuff.
ask the important questions, with car maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. And just have an open mic and stuff
Yep.
like this, and do the no drama thing. And like I said, even though my show is sort of car orientated,
Mhm.
I don't mind doing things like this too, like where we just
Yeah.
talk about anything. I don't care what it is. It could be talking about computers and tech. I'm very versatile. I have many interests, so it doesn't really matter as long as we're on talking and keeping things going and keeping
Respectful and
the friendship going too. Yeah.
Exactly. And Laura, are you going to be on Sunday with Carla?
Not this Sunday because she has her son, so it'll
Okay.
be next Sunday. Wednesday it'll probably be an open mic, unless I can, bring somebody in. Yeah, and then of course, Saturday we won't do Saturday. You and I will be next Saturday.
It'll be next Saturday. Yeah.
So
Next Saturday is going to be Pam and her brother for the book that they just put out there, published.
Okay,
On your
sounds fun.
On this show.
Yeah, on
For you?
Susan.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
So next time I'll be on will be Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. Well, if no one, the audience doesn't have any questions or anything, we'll wrap up this show. All
I'm
right.
glad everybody could hang out with us for 2.5 hours. We love it.
Yeah, thank you everybody
everybody
for joining, and we'll see you again, and stay safe and stay spooky, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.